Da 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 da. Blue Pants, you ruined everything, but you made the weekend oh so much better. That's what we're talking about here on this episode of the Slamcast. I am your host, Brandon Liggan. I have a cadre of people with me. I don't even know where to begin. I'm going to start with our brand new guest, the Rosa Parks of the Professional Wrestling Podcast, Ms. Leslie Joy. Leslie, how are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, as always.
I know.
Boldly going where no loser has gone before.
Is it everything you thought it would be and more, finally being on the show that you listen to every single week?
Oh, so much more. Now I don't have to
So
listen
much
to
more.
it.
Now you don't have to listen to this week. I'm saving you the experience of listening to Slamcast and probably sabotaging our numbers by having you on the show. You're on the show. Also, special correspondent live from the, I don't know what we're going to call it, the tent studios, and wherever the hell he's shacking up these days.
Live from my mobile phone.
Live from his mobile phone in the tent somewhere in London, the always lovable Mr. Michael Burhan. Excuse me, I burped.
Hello, peeps. How's it going? How is everyone today?
We're just good to know that you're alive and you're still able to do this podcast with us, and you're not selling your blood for...
I can't waste this opportunity to say this joke. So I guess, Burhan, you're pitching a tent right now. Ba-da-boom-ch.
But I'm sure. By the way, on the whole Blue Pants remark, still more over than Roman Reigns.
Ooh.
Okay.
Xavier Woods' trombone is more over than Roman.
We'll get into that later.
Wait. I have to give a pun. Does that mean that he gave him a tromboner?
Of course, it wouldn't be a Burhan appearance on a show without a dick joke. 5 minutes into the podcast.
I'm fucking straight.
So, as always, you heard him always, Mr. Long Voice Post, Dave Wade.
Hello.
Fresh off a stunning Liverpool performance again at Arsenal.
Right. My only tangent, I will say this, right? In the first half, we were all over them like herpes on a fucking cheap whore. But in the second half...
Better check. That's why I named my fantasy team this year, Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself.
Nice.
Sure. Right. And always, last but not least, bringing up the anchor, handling all the productional duties. I tried to make my own word, but I didn't. Mr. Dick Horaceck.
Yes, it's still fucking smoky as shit here. These fires are pissing me off. That, and I mean, they're going to cancel the high school
I imagine they might piss
too.
a few more people off slightly more who possibly may have lost their houses, but...
Well, yeah.
I mean, you're not in any of that sort of danger yet, so that's all.
Well, I think we'll be good where I'm at, but yeah, they're going to be canceling, it looks like, the high school football games. I haven't heard any word that they are.
There's already high school football games. It's the end of freaking August already.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's when they start, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought... Didn't high school football kind of start with the regular football season, which is September? I don't know.
Practice, yeah. They've been practicing for a few weeks, but the actual first game is, well, it's, tonight.
So,
yeah, it's...
Right.
Anyway.
So we had a big weekend in wrestling.
Holy shit, we did.
It was epic, and I think this is what we're going to have to just get used to seeing now. We're going to have this summer major event that's going to take place in some city where there's going to be an NXT event, a WWE event, WWE pay-per-view, and a Raw the next day. This is the world we're going to live in now. It'll be now the summer WrestleMania, the summer travel event.
Mm-hmm.
And it lived up to its expectations because this is the first year that they've had NXT. Yes, SummerSlam past couple of years has been in Los Angeles, and they have done all previous before that. But this is the first time we got 3 full days of weekend of wrestling in the same building. Mind you, a lot of the same people that were there 3 nights in a row.
I like to think there was a discount package for them.
For some of the international travel people, yeah, obviously they got their travel package discount. But yeah, I think this is just going to be the norm. I think this is good for business, or this is just something that's going to fade out quickly and the
I
novelty
think
is going
it's good for business because SummerSlam has always been, in a sense, the WrestleMania of the summer. So why not turn it into a big travel weekend, a big weekend, and have things going on all week where, they're doing, celebrity softball games or, they're doing all the media rounds and there's all this big hype. Why the fuck not? It's a
Yeah,
win-win for
exactly.
everybody.
Why not make it like like a music festival, if that makes sense? Make it a big event, or like you said, a week long's worth of events and shit like that.
exactly like a wrestling festival. That's exactly what I think they're going to try and make SummerSlam be. Just this
Oh,
destination.
that'd be amazing. And
You know what I
Brian's
really
already
think
got
they
his
should do?
tent. So
I don't think they're just
You know
going
what
to
I
stop
think they
doing
should do?
that. Stop with
You
just
think they
SummerSlam.
You think they should stop doing that? Really?
No. I don't think they're going to stop. I think they're going to be doing that fairly regularly. They already announced that they're going to be having an NXT show like at least quarterly.
Yeah.
With
and I think they
fights
should,
Right.
and stuff.
and here's the thing I think they should start doing now. And this may sound fucking crazy, but make all the major pay-per-views like that. Have a Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's overdoing it?
That's what it looks like because they're setting it up so it's going to be like an NXT show and the same weekend as the pay-per-view, and then it's really easy to arrange a couple of events around that.
But I think that's hurting the overall pay-per-view, though, because a lot of people are comparing the two at the moment. And they're saying that the NXT show...
they've already announced the next takeover. It's going to be in the UK, so...
They're literally doing it so people compare so that they can hype up NXT and make more subscribers and make more money.
Yeah, but I can see that, but it's also, I think it devalues the roster as a whole. And you can tell by the fact that NXT is rather different. NXT is more off the cuff. You don't have writers. You have these girls actually cutting promos. Then you move them up to the main roster, and it turns into what we saw.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. I don't know. Like, if this is what they do and they make this like these made them what I call the original 4 pay-per-views, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. They make them like the 4 majors and make them destination events. Maybe not saying stadium shows. Eventually, I could see SummerSlam growing to the point where it becomes like the Summer Stadium show. But I
can see them. The big 4. Definitely. And there's a reason they're the big 4 pay-per-views. Especially, the Royal Rumble's always been one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think it's bad playing them against each other, though. I have to say that. I don't think that's bad. People will always fall into their camps, their sections, and stuff like that. What we used to say at school, which is playground wars. I think playing them off against each other to some degree, whipping up a bit of excitement and frenzy is good. I think it's healthy for it.
They would, but a lot of the main roster guys, like even before, they were complaining about the fact how the NXT events are getting a lot more.
A lot more buzz. They get it. They're not getting the backlash. Far more people are nitpicking the NXT event than they do the WWE. And I think that's also because the NXT event is also shorter. SummerSlam was 4 hours. Well, 3 hours and 40-something minutes. But I wanted my full 4 hours.
Damn it!
I was counting, by the way. You advertised 4 hours. You owe me about 8 minutes of pay-per-view.
15 minutes.
Well, as I said, the thing is, I didn't mind the pay-per-view whatsoever. I had a few issues with it, like the
We'll
save it. We want to.
Yeah, we're gonna keep it free.
Hit it as it comes. It's in the
chronological
order of events.
Not really chronological order, but something like that. But I said it's going to be interesting to see how they play this. I would like to see these 4 events, the original 4 pay-per-views, be treated like major events, have these destination weekends.
And I just say at least the Royal Rumble, because that's always the lead off, that's the beginning of the road.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, the road to WrestleMania. That's where it fucking begins. That's where it's always built as. This is the road to WrestleMania.
I'm calling it now. You're getting your wish. Like, you're going to get your wish.
I agree.
I think we'll see it too, man. I just think that's just that's what makes sense for business, to make these destination events quarterly and just rake in the dough. Just imagine people that get to just sit there and take a picture with Roman Reigns. People will probably sit online for an hour to do that. Pay $20. 1,000 people wanted to do that. Ka-ching.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's also that one guy who was willing to throw stuff at Roman Reigns.
I mean, all right. You want to talk about that because that's been a reoccurring thing now. Roman Reigns being the subject to actual abuse by fans. I mean, fan behavior was a hot button topic this week. We'll talk about that again later towards the end of the show. But specifically, this abuse that Roman Reigns is getting, I don't like it, and I think it's unfair that people are singling him out as their outlet of their dissatisfaction with where creative is going. Like, it's not his fault. He's not the guy.
It's an example. He's kind of the face of that
just
bad creative
in which they're speaking through. Yes, the bad creative is coming through.
People like a popular person to blame, don't they? Like you said, it's not his fault, but people would seem to have a bug up their ass, and they will always rally on someone because it gives them a focal point to vent their disappointment on. Not his fault.
Right. It's never Roman. It's never Roman. It's the guys that decided to turn him into Cena 2.0.
Yeah.
The problem is, as I said, the whole thing with Roman is he was in the wrong place at the right time. Okay? And being that Vince wanted to push him as the next Cena, if we were in the 90s, then we would probably get that. But the fact that we're in basically 2015, people are smart to the business. People don't want to, the fans are dictating what they want. They want another Daniel Bryan. That's what they want. The fans are screaming for guys.
They don't want another Daniel Bryan. They want Daniel Bryan.
I know, but sans the fact they can't get Bryan at the moment. They want Dean Ambrose, right? They want basically the guy who's the workhorse rather than the guy who's been set up to be the big major player in the company. Hence the reason why you see John Cena getting moved back into the title picture, because it failed. Everything that Vince tried to do has failed because he keeps going back to the same.
Far with saying everything has failed. And
I mean in terms of Roman's character, in terms of the way they pushed him.
Yeah, so
you're starting to see little normal, like little cracks of the personality coming out. Like this tag team with him and Ambrose has been good for his development as a character. Right. Like it's showing that he has some personality. Like he's not just this generic. I used to call him Samoan Bane, like just generic tough guy. Like, come in and punch you, stuff like that. Like he looks like he's actually having fun out there working with Ambrose. And Nick posted the video in the forum of the two of them. I think it was probably on SmackDown or whatever. About to go out through the crowd, bunch of people standing around him chanting "Titty Master" at Dean, and Roman's eating it up, like encouraging him, egging him on. Like it's the guy who's having fun with it right now.
Yeah, and like I don't hate Roman Reigns. I mean, and I've always said the biggest example of them literally pushing him is Cena 2.0. When he won the Rumble, he entered at the same spot Cena won just 2 years prior. The exact same number.
But that's what I'm saying. Vince McMahon has a game plan, and the problem is he keeps sticking to that same game plan. We've seen
Speaking of the genetic jackhammer, by the way, happy 70th birthday, by the way, to Mr. Vince and Kennedy McMahon, without whom this podcast would definitely not be going off.
Oh, hell no.
I think we can unequivocally say that. So,
yeah.
Thank you, Vince.
I wonder, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall backstage when Stephanie and Triple H had the happy birthday.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that at the end. Because we'll talk about that at the end.
Well, we talked about it briefly, didn't we, before, which is, all right, bad decisions aside, because, he's made a few stinkers. It's safe to say, as I said before, which is, the positive far outweighs the negative, and the bottom line is, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this thing we fucking love and adore, would we? So,
exactly.
And also the fact we wouldn't have various incarnations of Hulk Hogan. again
No.
and again and again.
No,
And again,
that's
and we'll
not
keep getting
okay.
it till the end of time. Or
But
until
but going back to Roman, I
Yeah.
just say, he's the development of him is coming along. Yeah, maybe they wanted to do it a lot. They wanted to do it this year and just strap the rocket ship to him and put the title on him, and that would be the end of it. Him feuding with Seth Rollins and beating Seth Rollins into oblivion. We all go home, buy our Roman Reigns t-shirts, and go home. That's the end of it.
But it's
Yeah, but I think
when
they've set him back. They've set back his development. I think
I don't think set him back.
No.
I don't think set him back. I just think further prepared him for the role he's inevitably going to have.
he's
Yeah.
gonna have it, but it's gonna be a struggle for him to get it. If
Right.
that makes
I don't
sense.
It's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a struggle because I think it's already written in the cards that he's going to get it.
Yeah, of
I
course.
just think if
Well, can I just quickly add something on the backlash? In the fact that like Burhan touched upon, which is they wanted someone else. It's if you step outside of the fanboy mentalism of people who watch stuff like this. If you were him and you were offered this opportunity, you would take it. So I think sometimes people when they go, this is not how I want my sport to go, should just fucking chill and relax. Remember, at the end of the day, everyone's a fucking person. And he's just taken an opportunity, whether you like the way it's played out or not. It's not his fault.
it's that they didn't want somebody else. They wanted Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
And that's
And
the
I
big
think
problem. They
that
wanted
the
Daniel Bryan. The story was there, and
yeah, and
they
the worst thing they could have done as well is put Bryan in the Royal Rumble. Worst thing.
well, it's not that they put him in there. It could have been salvaged if he'd been the final two. I mean, they still would have hated Roman winning, but it still would have made Bryan look really goddamn good. But they clearly threw him out there at number 10, and he was eliminated within 10 minutes?
Which was cheap.
Talking about the Royal
I don't-
Rumble, wasn't that in January?
January.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's August.
It's always the weekend in between, the weekend before the Super Bowl. Always, always, always,
hmm
always, always, always. Because obvious, you're vibrating, sir. But all right,
No, I'm
so,
not. It's just the way my pants hang. Sorry.
So going on from that, moving on from Roman Reigns, let's talk about this weekend, because this weekend, I think, and if we're going to see this now, this is going to set the bar pretty high as far as these SummerSlam weekends go, because this was a pretty fucking enjoyable weekend if you're a wrestling fan.
Oh,
It
yeah.
definitely filled up my cup, if you will, because I'm totally gung ho back into the product now. I want to see where everything is going, and we'll see where that goes. We'll see how long that enthusiasm lasts for.
Yeah.
The weekend NXT started off perfectly because I like the fact now for these takeover specials they're gimmicking up their entrances more. Like I love the Tyler Breeze fashion shows.
Yes.
I want more. I want more. I want more everything. I want more Liger. Goddammit!
Zoolander face.
Oh, God.
That's
What were you gonna say, Leslie?
I said I like when he does the Zoolander face. I think that's great.
Oh, please. Everything about that character is just is just ready, That's gonna be
works.
perfect. Like just keep at it, kid. You're gonna have gold in just maybe not this year, maybe not next year. You might have to Dolph Ziggler it for a while, but just that gimmick. That's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Like Hacksaw Jim Duggan became Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and he was nothing else for the rest of his career.
Yep.
Yeah,
The man
no, I
rocks-
agree.
not Jim Duggan, but the man rocks blue steel well, I say.
Yeah, very much so. The one thing I will say, if they want to give him a manager, they should pair him up with Eva Marie because, yeah,
Two of them. They could be, and I know to kind of like paraphrase something where Joey Ryan's doing right now, his whole tag team with Candice LeRae, who's, why is this the WWE side more of these beautiful, talented women? That's beyond me, but Candice LeRae coming to the WWE at some point in time, I guarantee you.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Market.
I could see
Like,
Joey
they do
Ryan
this-
coming, even if it's part time.
I could see Joey Ryan too, but I don't know if they'll let Joey Ryan do his current gimmick, because some of the things Joey Ryan does, pretty fucking obscene.
Like the
Oh, dude, I
lollipop
saw the
incident?
Lollipop
Yeah.
incident, exactly. We'll say the lollipop incident, and then
Oh.
go to your YouTubes, and then just shit you could only get away with on the internet, on the indies.
Yes. It's involving Colt Cabana, too.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll just leave it at that. We'll just
Yes.
go,
Oh,
like,
God.
It sounds like a
like-
really bad joke, doesn't it? Colt Cabana,
Uh,
a ref, and a lollipop.
yeah, just the lollipop incident.
Actually, it wasn't a ref. It was a triple threat match involving another wrestler whose name I shall not mention. You just got to go look this up for yourself.
It's again just the lollipop incident. Look it up.
I've never
From
looked
now
at
on,
lollipops the
ever in-
same way again.
Oh,
No
God.
one ever embedded in wrestling, slang. The lollipop incident.
I mean, there's been many. Well, that's the kind of wrestling paraphrase. When something goes wrong, it's the incident, the mass transit incident, the Montreal incident, the
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not big enough to be a gate.
I hate things being called gate. By the way, that needs like we got gate from fucking Watergate when the president of the United States was taken down. Like, okay, Tom Brady, not on the same fucking level, folks. All right, park that fucking bus elsewhere.
Yeah.
Just get out a free jail
God.
card when you think about it.
All
Because the next time I get pulled over by the old bill for speeding or something, and he goes, "Excuse me, sir, do you know how fast you were going? Here's my phone, and excuse me, sir, are you familiar with the lollipop incident? Guarantee I'll get off."
Or get arrested, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But all right, so
Great
we gotta,
idea to open this takeover with Breeze and Liger.
Yes, absolutely, because this match had really not much storyline to it, and the fact that Tyler Breeze wanted more competition.
And he gets it.
And
I had fucking goosebumps as Liger was making his entrance.
I know, it was one of those things, like, as a wrestling fan, if you could have told me even 2 years ago I would be watching Jushin Thunder Liger in a WWE event, I would be, like, saying, yeah, right. What are you talking about? Get out of here. And it happened.
Get the fuck out of here or give me some of the shit you're smoking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You been sniffing the paint tins again?
It happened, and it was awesome. And I was like a kid watching all those old WCW clips, watching old New Japan clips. This is a guy who's in his 50s. I know I might have said he was in his 40s last week. I want to correct myself. He's in his 50s. I think he might be 52. I might be totally wrong on Liger's age. No one. I don't want to be fact checked on it, but I'm assuming he's in his 50s.
He's
Sounds
30-year career. 30
Yeah.
years.
Exactly. And this is a guy who still hasn't really lost a step. I mean, he still hits the same basic moves. Yeah, he doesn't do the full arsenal of stuff that he did.
He's still. I think the phrase you're looking for is he's still got his legs.
He's still got his legs, and he's still. I mean, all the bells and whistles are there. You know, he hits his taunt. You know, he hit the classic Liger taunt where he goes out inside and poses and turns like slowly like a sprinkler.
But it's also a testament to what a professional he is, which is like other people should look up to this and just go, "That's how you do it, people."
Listen, the way they absolutely described Liger perfectly. If I was a newbie who never watched his brief run in WCW or didn't watch any Japanese clips and just had no idea who he was and literally didn't hear his name until last week when they announced the match. They did a perfect way of describing who he was, what he means to the business, and his contribution. And I can't wait to see him go into the Hall of Fame this year, because I think absolutely this was his conduit into the Hall of Fame.
Well deserved.
You know what? The funny thing is, it makes you wonder, like, how Ultimo Dragon was so badly misused when he was on SmackDown.
It really was. They had no idea how to use Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah. It was like the dude who held every single championship in the world.
And this is like literally one of the pound for pound, probably the greatest wrestler of his generation.
Yeah.
And just they had no idea what to do.
You signed him and then just went, yeah, let's just shop him to the bigger guys and let them powerbomb him.
He takes really good bumps and he makes our guys look really strong. And, he's a good guy in the locker room. Like, guys get along with him all right. He's got, he helps with the young guys good. We have no idea what to do with this guy, though, do we? No idea. Clue. Poor Ultimo Dragon. But hey, and I think it all worked out. And when you have a promotion named after you, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good for yourself there, Ultimo Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yet the WWE still didn't understand what they were doing with him.
No.
You know what, though? Dragon's still a Hall of Famer. Like, I mean, what he did in WCW, what he meant to the Cruiserweight division, which was, what helped turn the tide in the Monday Night Wars over to WCW's favor, and helped literally stabilize that company, other than the NWO.
The true NWO, all the three members started it all because
we saw it this week. We saw this week the official black whitewashing of Hulk Hogan has begun. When the original 3 NWO members were in attendance in Brooklyn, Kevin Nash,
Hall, and Pac.
And X-Pac. The original 3 NWO members.
Oh, you know what? They forgot one member. The man known as Stevie Richards.
What are you talking about?
Oh, God.
I don't know about. No, I didn't forget anything.
Don't you remember Stevie Richards? Stevie Richards is he's the man who started it. He started the NWO.
He slammed Andre at WrestleMania 3.
Also, he slammed Andre at
WrestleMania 20.
Yeah. He also defeated Shawn and Triple H in one of the most amazing matches in WWE history. Stood tall with Eddie Guerrero as they held both their titles in the air.
We'll talk about that later on, because that's also a subject that reared its ugly head again this week. But, yeah, I mean, Liger had a great match, and it was announced later on in the week that there will be a further continued relationship with him on NXT. I mean, that's just a huge bucket of win for us fans over here in America.
I think they're probably just made they're probably working with a Japanese promotion at the moment, probably bringing over.
Liger's got the free agency deal where he could basically on any. We've mentioned this on the show before, but any dates that he's not working with New Japan, he's free to go wherever the hell he wants, wherever the hell that will take him.
Don't they also have a unofficial?
How do you get that was such a sweet deal? Because they normally throttle their guys.
You're Jushin Liger. That's why.
And also Triple H as well, in terms of pushing for these deals to happen.
Well, yeah, no, it's Triple H bringing Liger into the fold because he wants Liger a part of his company. But it's because Liger has the sweet deal with New Japan where he's basically able to go wherever he wants. So, yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait till the next time he makes the trip over, and I hope we get more of this Tyler Breeze, or even if it's just him going up against, random talent. It would be cool. What I would like to see, I know it's a bit of a pipe dream, WWE bring back the light heavyweight division. They got plenty of light heavyweight. I doubt it.
They're so past the light heavyweight definition of things. The one reason they removed it, they didn't remove it because they didn't want to see a light division. They removed it because they wanted most of these guys from the light heavyweight division were turning into main event stars, guys like Mysterio. So they had to get rid of that whole weight limit,
Mm-hmm.
Apart from the fact that they were being superiorly racist with Ray every time he held the title. He was never considered world heavyweight champion, it was just world champion.
No, and he was given the WWE title for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for him to lose it to Cena.
Yeah, it was like, hey Ray, you've got the title. Joke. Cena wins, LOL.
Yes, you're technically a WWE champion for 2 hours.
You still held the title longer than Yokozuna.
You had it through the B block of Raw.
Yep. Yeah, you still held it longer than Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9, who lost it to X-Pac, I believe.
Yeah, no. We're just not.
I like to think though that for those 2 hours he used it well.
No. Yokozuna lost it to Stevie Richards. Get it right.
Put it this way. Rey Mysterio was definitely a very worthy champion for his entire 2 hours. And he definitely respected the position which he was being given. for that whole 120 minutes. Or maybe it was because Raw wasn't 3 hours at that point in time yet. So that was Raw was still was 2 hours. So yeah, he was maybe a Raw champion for about 45 minutes.
Hour and a half, maybe, whatever.
Not even, because like I remember that was the continuation of the previous week's Raw, and then they did that, and then the Cena thing, and then the big reveal was Punk was back, and we got the whole cult personality thing, wrestling history. You all saw it. Moving on, we got a very great tag team match, and I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. The Vaudevillains they've impressed me. I mean, I like their gimmick enough as it is, but I wasn't totally sure people would totally get behind it outside of the NXT arena. They had that crowd eating out of the palm of their hands, and then they brought out Blue Pants, who got the biggest reaction probably of the weekend.
You know what?
Her song
gets everyone pumped. Her song gets everyone pumped, and it's just some dude
humming the Price
Right. Yeah.
Which I believe was originally Colin Cassidy.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally just because they had no theme song for her. They had no name for her. They're just literally calling her Blue Pants.
Only in NXT can someone called Blue Pants with generic Price is Right music get over.
And not only get over, but get one of the biggest reactions of the entire night.
Yes.
And not only she got everything like better than like the announcer gave her the full like 2-second announcer. He held the U on Blue Pants for a good.
Blue
Pants. Yeah.
I loved it.
Great.
It's
Just
like an
great.
accident that they just kind of decided to run with. Like, they have the new T-shirt, and it's just Blue Pants.
Yeah.
I know they were selling the T-shirts when she first got over. When she was.
Did they really? I thought they were kind of new.
Yeah.
Like, they had
She was. I think it was fairly new. I think they had it around when she was helping Carmella and just being there, just there. But I think her being over as much as she is with the WWE crowd is not really an accident because she's Leva Bates is a fairly well-known female wrestler and does have a sort of cult following in the cosplay world because she caters to that sort of audience. She's also busted her ass to get to that point, and she's a damn talented wrestler.
I didn't mean accident in that way. I meant like WWE didn't plan it. Like I don't think
they didn't plan for that to be as big of a thing as it is. Like they literally just brought it in for her to work some of the female talent and help them get them over. And if they needed her to be an enhancement talent for a little bit, yeah, they're going to do it. And then this thing grew legs and became this thing, and then 15,000 people started cheering in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's what.
I think it's safe to say Leva Bates might have just earned herself a full-time spot on the WWE roster after that.
Almost definitely. I would not be signed herself.
If she hasn't already, but actually a lot of people don't realize it. But Leva Bates had the Samoa Joe deal before Joe had the Samoa deal, because she's still allowed to take bookings. So.
That would be hilarious if Joe came out to like some generic dude going da 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 da.
I mean, Joe already comes out to some pretty generic music as it is, but that's neither here nor there.
He works with it, man. You see where he's bobbing his head at NXT Takeover.
We'll talk about it when we get to that point. Vaudevillains versus Blake Murphy and Alexa Bliss. It was a great setup. The crowd was eating out of the palm of their hands. Like we already knew Blue Pants was coming. Like they were begging for it. They couldn't hit that music sooner. She comes out, she gets the huge pop, and we get a great tag team match too. By the way, these are 4 guys that really know how to work well as a team and work well with each other.
Blake and Murphy have got really
good chemistry, and I can actually tell them apart now. Honestly, I mean, it does help that they have names on their tights now. I think
one wears shorter tights than the other, so.
I think
one actually has like curly hair. The other one had straight hair on that match as well.
I also know that one's also Australian and one's not, but until they open their mouths, I don't know which one's which.
Right.
That's what I said when I accidentally got caught shagging my girlfriend's sister, but I'm sure.
that.
Anyway, no, I like their gimmicks. Like they picked an attire. You know, I don't know. They're just Alexa Bliss has found, I think, her niche role because I don't know if she's really quite there as a wrestler yet. But I will gladly watch her, you know, be a less slutty version of Sunny.
The thing is, with that, it's basically playing to your strengths, isn't it?
Yes,
When you say,
like
not quite, the rest of the other people are, but it doesn't matter because
no,
they know their strong points.
she has some things that she work with. She's very capable on the microphone. I'm not gonna say great. She's very capable. She could cut a promo and it sounds natural and not sounds like she's reading off cue cards or frantically trying to remember lines people told her a few minutes earlier. She seems natural.
I start fires. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Which some people almost kind of sound like on promos. Um, so I can almost see her like once they get back into the NXT tapings back down in Florida as her being that Sunny role. Like remember when the Body Donnas lost the tag team titles to the Godwins? She jumped ship right after, left Skip and Zip and went over to the Godwins. I could totally see Alexa Bliss doing that. I don't know if WWE Creative is stupid enough to try and pull that over on us and they won't realize.
I'd say definitely, like you said, definitely someone to watch.
Yeah,
I see
man.
bigger things on the horizon.
For her, yeah, absolutely. Like she's gonna be the breakout star of that tag team. I think. Like Blake and Murphy will go on and have admirable careers. I think if they break up that team, but I think she's gonna be the real star of that team. They're going forward. I think. Ms. Misery. I like that name too. It's a great name. Again, great match all around by those guys. All four of those guys. What I think they did though, and I kind of I'm going to criticize them, and this has nothing to do with the matches. This was after the match was over. I think they cut their celebration too soon. Like I wanted to see these guys celebrate because I think clearly meant something to both Gotch and
English,
Aiden
English, yeah.
Yeah, I on his name. To get the tag team titles, it feels like that's something they've really been working at. Aiden English has been doing that whole 20s gimmick for about a year and a half now, pretty much since the start of NXT as a show in and of itself before it became the WWE Network. So for him to finally get this payoff, there was some genuine emotion showed there. And
I don't think it was anything personal. I think it was just time constraint, though, wasn't it?
Yeah,
honest, or fair.
Yeah, it's very true.
The show still totally went like almost 2.5 hours too. So
yeah, it's very true. But going forward with this, if they're gonna have Blue Pants come out with the Vaudevillain, I'm still calling her Blue Pants, but I want like a 1920s parasol. I want suit tails. I want her to look like
The whole flapper thing.
Exactly. There you
Yeah.
go. Dodge.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Gotta play the gimmick, man. Pretty fucking cool.
So fucking great, man.
I'd pop for that.
I mean, look, man. I think they got a lot of positive things brewing with this. Obviously, the people were loving it. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they had a good. We're naming this episode Blue Pants City. There was a Blue Pants City.
Yeah.
By the way, we've also seen this. This has also been a new and recent development. We've seen a development of the new wrestling chant born in the New York City. They've adapted the New Day chant into various other forms. Now we've seen the New Day chant being used for John Cena sucks, Blue Pants rocks, various other forms. So we're evolving now as wrestling fans beyond the traditional 5-beat cadence chant. We've now adopted slightly more complicated versions of that. So
can I ask? Does Blue Pants give you
right now?
Does Blue Pants give you blue balls, Brandon?
I fucking knew you were gonna say that. And I was almost gonna cut you off. but I know that's like her life is saying these perverted little jokes. So
I think they
That's
should
his
shout in the audience. They should nick the thing from Field of Dreams, but they should start chanting for blue pants, which is
if
if
you
they wear them, they will come.
if you buy that shirt, she will come. That's basically it. But yeah, so I'd love to see more of Blue Pants with.
Yeah, I think she should be
Congratulations.
a out character with them. If that we'll just see, what the WWE will basically use her for.
Because they got something.
The interesting thing is, like the big side and all that stuff, but the recent events that this weekend and stuff, it's a very interesting time because there's a lot of exciting shit that you there's a lot of people in this sport.
And she wasn't on, like I said, if she wasn't on their radar before or wasn't in consideration, there wasn't a contract with her name on it.
There is now.
It certainly had to have been printed up because she could just look like that. I didn't do anything. That's just for me being here. They know that I'm here. 15,000 people chant my name. So, boom. Mic drop off stage.
Yeah.
Leva, I hope it all works out for her. If not, she's, she could still be the baddest bitch on the indies, that's for sure. Speaking of bad bitches, by the way, there was a little brief. They kept coming over, around the same spot of the arena. They kind of unveiled their latest, biggest signing. And I think it's doozy. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I'm intrigued. They signed Kana. If you don't know who Kana is, she's a female Joshi, which is what they call female wrestlers in Japan. I could basically, the only way I could describe her is the female Kenta. Not Hideo Itami. Female Kenta. Just a lot of kicking. And she's, kind of a looker, too. So, Kana coming to the women's division. Is that a sign of the Divas Revolution? Who knows? Or is she just going to be brought in there to be like Sarah Del Rey as a trainer? She's a little up there in the age. So, who knows, man? I'm kind of geeked for it because if she is going to be brought in, that's going to be somebody who's going to seriously legitimize a lot of those broads.
Mm-hmm.
For real. She's not going to take any shit, and she's not going to pull any punches or kick, literally. She doesn't wear boots. She just wears kick pads over her feet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Kicking.
Fucking amazing.
She's fucking ruthless. She's a bad bitch. So, yeah. Google that shit.
And also, because of that, though, we all win.
We all
everyone
win.
else is going to have to raise their game.
I mean, they debuted the Nia Jax promo.
That's also going to be another interesting thing. This is going to be everything. I think Nia Jax is going to be everything they wanted Awesome Kong to be. But then she went crazy and got pregnant or whatever, or sequence, whatever that happened. I think, just like I said, she's gonna be that dominating, silent but deadly female that they were looking for.
Or very low speaking, because she was speaking in that
Yeah.
vignette.
Yeah,
But it's not going to be like bombastic.
She's not going to be all about look and designer handbags, as someone.
Yeah,
said
but there's
later.
something cool about that, though, isn't there? Well, I know you're saying that, which is just state sometimes is the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Look upon me for my skill, as opposed to look upon me acting like a diva. Not a diva, but you know what I mean, like the sense of the word. Look at me, judge me on my ability to deliver, basically.
Yeah.
And also, she's got the pedigree to back it because she's one of The Rock's cousins. So there you go.
Samoan Dynasty, man.
Samoan Dynasty. Those Samoans are everywhere, man.
Yep.
Say what you will about their racial handicap, though. Hell of a
Oh.
There's no actual racial handicap to Samoa. I don't actually believe that. That's a line from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I know, that's why I laughed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, no. That's just a disclaimer for anybody who's at home who may think I actually have prejudice towards Samoan or Pacific Islanders.
And also,
He
slight
does.
tangent, by the way, if you haven't seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, sort your fucking life out. It's an amazing movie. Sorry.
Or
Very much is.
Very well, whichever you prefer. So, what happened next on NXT? I kind of forgot. But I
So
don't
we
wanna,
had,
Right.
Joe versus
Joe versus Baron Corbin. That was a
Tell
great. See,
and Samoa Joe. And the two main events.
Yeah, we got people talking to each other. That's
Sorry.
sorry.
Which is why we
yeah.
should do it on Google Plus.
Future problems. I don't really have. I'm not really camera ready right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, Baron Corbin Samoa Joe happened, and this was the match that I was kind of like, all right, this is gonna be the piss break. I'm not really too interested in this, but I ended up not getting up to take that piss, and I actually sat in the match, which was a surprise. Samoa Joe.
Did you
got
saw yourself?
No, I didn't. I mean, I got up after the match, obviously, and peed, and was okay, and made it back in time, no problem.
We're all glad to hear that.
Yes. I'm amazed because, I mean, maybe I just haven't been paying, I know I haven't been watching NXT as religiously as other people, but when did Baron Corbin develop the ability to speak? Has he just, figured that out in recent weeks?
I
Because
think
that was
generally he's an asshole, so it
Well,
helps
obviously they're
his
booking him as
character.
a heel because that people obviously aren't going to cheer for him
Right.
because that ship
Getting
has sailed.
kind of the Roman Reigns treatment, but
Yeah, no. Well, he got the Roman Reigns push. He didn't have the Roman Reigns connection to the fans to it, and then that got that big. We saw that happening. We're like, nah, you're not going to do that to this guy. We don't really like this guy that much. And then they made this guy a heel, and now I think you're finally starting to see more character come out. Like, I mean,
which I like. I like seeing more out of this guy than him just being the strong, I beat people in 30 seconds type.
I don't say anything. I generically walk to the ring. I beat people.
The
I walk
character has
out.
found its comfort zone, if that makes sense.
It made you, the way they explained his background is he made them identify. He's a former professional football player that kicked out of the NFL for fighting on his own team, fighting with his teammates, and ended up here. And then the promo that he cut is absolutely the perfect way for any WWE built talent to counteract these.
Sorry, I just say something really quickly. When you said he got kicked off his football team for fighting with his own people up here, I've just got Eric Cartman in my head saying, whatever, I do what I want.
Oh, a little
Or
bit.
the guy that punched Gino.
No, that guy.
Maybe not full.
He said that all these people talk about all their opportunities and what they deserve. I never heard of any of them, and I'm like, holy shit! They were not pulling any punches with this guy. Oh,
That's your
we lost.
soundbite right there.
That's your soundbite right there, folks. I mean, so we go to the match. This was a pretty hard-hitting match. Don't think these guys were pulling any punches at all. You could hear the slaps.
Excuse me 1 second, peeps. I'm going for a slash. Sorry.
All right.
Go do what you got to do. We're going to talk about this match and move on. Yeah, I just think this match was really hard hitting. They let these two guys obviously just beat the crap out of each other for 10 minutes. And these are two big, heavyweight, just battering rams going at it, and they delivered on that. And they got me interested in what's going to happen to Baron Corbin next, because, I can see that there's, he's starting to get the hang of it in the ring. He didn't really mess up anything noticeable. Nothing looked too awkward. I mean, his offense is real simple, but he's learning it, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the finish of the match.
That choke out where he wasn't. Yeah, he's like he wasn't quite out yet. Like he didn't tap out. He just kind of passed out. Yeah, tough son of a bitch. Like
because you don't have him, tapping out to Samoa Joe, but you still have Joe win the match with the Kikina Clutch, which I'm still amazed they actually let him keep that name. But I don't know, man. That's just me. How WWE likes to change everybody's names.
No, I know, but it's like they really can't change much to him, and Samoa Joe is a pretty identifiable name, and it lends itself.
Sorry.
No, what were we gonna say?
Oh, they kind of mentioned that when Samoa Joe cut the promo after Corbin did when he was like, oh, Corbin likes to say how he made one phone call WWE, and he was like, they called me.
Yeah, they called me.
They called me. That was his line, and like to me, that also made that helped make the other guys promo as well.
Yeah. That helped. That helped sell the whole thing.
They didn't change his name or anything. They called him.
The building of the package helps me believe in Baron Corbin as a performer more now after this match because
he said package. Sorry.
He truly delivered, did everything he had to do. I could even now believe him beating Samoa Joe in a match. Yeah, seems totally and wholly believable. So good on Samoa Joe, man. He's coming through on what they brought him here for, is to get good matches out of these up and coming talents. So good on him, man. Good guy, Joe. Helps put over WWE talent and cashes big paychecks.
Yep.
Now we're going to go on to
a good progression to the sport, basically.
Yeah, two of the best matches.
He shines to make people outshine him because he's a solid performer.
Apollo Crews made his debut. He went.
That happened too. Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Apollo Crews just briefly. And if anybody else has something they could say, they can go after. But I think I'm going to pretty much nail it. I mean, Apollo Crews looks like a creative wrestler with all the stats maxed out. I mean, if there was ever a prototype for a WWE superstar, it's Apollo Crews in both look, skill set, and just I think the X factor, I guess, that you're looking for. He looks like he has it. I'm really, really stoked going forward. And this guy can hit a standing shooting star, and he's like 6'5".
Yeah, you did nail that.
That's nailed. Perfect.
Yeah,
So welcome to the show, Apollo Crews. We are all paying attention. We hope creative doesn't screw you up and you don't end up with a lame gimmick.
Yeah. Or end up
he's
facing
totally
Vince
done
McMahon for the ECW title. Feuding with Vince over that, and yeah.
Yeah, so on the cusp of greatness, don't stamp it with cliche shite.
He does have a bit of the Lashley look to him, yes. I will give him that, but I think he doesn't have he has the X factor that Lashley lacked.
Right. Lashley never really had the charisma. He was just a big, jacked up dude that came in and destroyed people.
And then smiled, and that's when you knew that the fact that you knew that he didn't have it when all he would just do there is just stand there and smile and just be like, yeah. And then Lashley was missing one of the most important things, the voice. He had Michael Jackson voice.
I was just going to say, this is why I was laughing in the background, which is, he just stood there and smiled, and then
he's a gigantic
kind of helium voice. It's like, yeah, you know what? After I watch you in a wrestling match, if you never said anything or smile, I'll be like fearful for my life. But
like Lashley,
I'm pretty sure if I meet you in public and you talk, I just go, oh, he's got a David Beckham voice.
Like Lashley had the perfect build and everything. The guy was a fucking war veteran, jacked to the gills, athletic as all fuck. Not a bad looking dude. Like, it was stuff that somebody could put on a poster and t-shirt and people would buy it. But put a microphone on him and he just sounded like this. Hi, Bobby Lashley.
Yeah,
It's funny, Jeremy Clarkson covered this perfectly when he talked about David Beckham, and it's completely relevant to him as well, which is, God gives people wonderful, wonderful skills. He gave him amazing ability to wrestle. He made him built like a brick shithouse. He was clearly intimidating, and then just to balance the books, he gave him a girl's voice.
Just like he gave Seth Rollins a small penis. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So Apollo Crews is going to have a bright future. Let's hope he doesn't get stuck with the bad creative, because that would just be truly awful for someone of his talent level to be stuck with bad gimmicks.
I like to think that they're learning, though. I like to think that they're learning, and they can look upon this and go like, this guy's fucking shit hot, and the potential, business side of it to make us a lot of money. Let's possibly not fuck this up with one really stupid little idea that some bloke came up with in an office.
Exactly. Don't give him the Kunta Kinte dashiki wearing gimmick. Nothing like that. Don't put him with. Okay, maybe put him with New Day. So
just let his bloody skill shine.
If anyone cares for New Day, it's Bo Dallas.
Oh my God, that's moving on. We'll talk about New Day, because New Day killed the weekend too, by the way. But no, I like to think that Apollo Crews, just his skill set and everything that he brings to the table, it cannot possibly fail. It cannot possibly fail. Like, there's no way there's nothing he could do that. Even the fact that even if they tried to screw this up, he would find a way to make it work and get over. People will still chant.
Well, it's like you said, though, the icing on the cake is this. He's absolutely, perfect. The only thing that may possibly screw this up is out of his hands.
Yes.
Which is a shame, really.
I just like to think that maybe even that can't screw it up. Like, this is just so built for WWE, they can't even possibly screw this up.
You should have said that out loud.
Yeah, I really wish you didn't say that out loud.
Oops.
Oh, I cannot wait to go back and
that's the Connery gods in wrestling form. You should have said it.
No, I should have said it. Anyway, I was taking a bite of pizza. Sorry.
All right.
Anywho, so that leaves us with the main event of the evening.
Well, hold on. You guys just went over the women's match?
Oh, duh. Sorry, my fault.
The completely. Fuck, dude? Really?
No,
on Saturday night when I said expect some gushing about the women's match?
Yeah, sorry. I completely forgot about that. Because I was gushing about Uha or Apollo Crews. Sorry. So we got over the weekend. If you missed this match,
what the fuck is wrong with you? Go back and goddamn watch it.
Go back and watch it on the. Yeah, please, just go back and watch it, because, I mean, if you talk about everything you want to see in a wrestling match, I'm not talking about women in a women's wrestling match. What Becky and Sasha did. What Bayley and Sasha did. Sorry, not Becky and Sasha. Becky.
I don't blame you. Becky's hot as hell too, and she can wrestle. So.
What Bayley and Sasha did on Saturday night transcends their gender, as far as the story they told in the ring, with the false finishes, with the hope spots, with everything. I mean, if that's not 5-star quality match, I don't know what is. I don't know why Stephanie McMahon is trying to take credit for all this, because clearly this is not Stephanie McMahon's immediate doing.
Because she's Stephanie McMahon?
Yeah, it's because she's Stephanie McMahon and she can take credit for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Stephanie McMahon didn't grow the Divas. She didn't train the Divas. She didn't sign each.
It was a good match, like you said. Gender aside, it overcame that because it was a good match, because it was quite simply and we've all been guilty of this on this podcast from time to time, which is we use the Divas as and I don't want to sound like I'm being sexist, but we use the Divas as a piss break. But this was as good as anything you've ever seen.
Well, for the record, most of the NXT Divas matches have never been a piss break. It's and never any of the ones involving Sasha or Charlotte or Bayley or Becky. At all.
So pay attention, WWE. You should learn from this.
Yeah, like who's your champion now? Funbag Cena.
John
Anyway.
Cena rests. Anyway.
Yes.
John C. Cups.
I followed a car home from work 2 days ago, by the way. I followed a car home from work 2 days ago that actually had C Nation bumper sticker on the back of his car.
What?
And I remember thinking, really? Really? First of all, no one in this country even knows what that means. And second of all, you've got C Nation on your bumper. Are you ashamed?
I'm surprised you could see him at all.
That was pretty good.
I made a point of overtaking him, though, just so I could say, even though I didn't have a bumper sticker.
Did you flash it in front of him too? Like, give him you can't see me? No.
I wish I had a bumper sticker on the back of my car that said "Creepy Page Moment of the Week." But...
One day when we can sell Slamcast merchandise, we'll have a creepy page moment.
One day.
That's the plans for 2016. Slamcast merchandise.
Yes.
Taking over the world, one plan at a time. Yeah, again, I can't say enough positive things about this match. I mean, I have a favorite spot, and I'm going to talk particularly about it. This, I love it.
By the way, quick question. Is Burhan still alive?
Burhan
Lost him.
Burhan has left it, and he hasn't rejoined, and I don't know if Nick's tried to...
I
guess
on his,
I guess his
it
tent
says
doesn't
he's
have
on
Wi-Fi.
standby. It's got the yellow thing on his Skype. I'll try and add him back.
Yeah,
in.
I'm not... Yeah, I mean, he's probably tired and probably went to bed, so...
Probably.
I don't begrudge him for going to sleep.
Oh, no, I was just curious. I wasn't, saying anything about it. I was just
Well,
curious.
he's back! Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Almost. Or are you trying
Maybe.
to add him?
If he, I don't think he's gonna answer. Shit.
Someone go to the bathroom and say Burhan's name 5 times in front of the mirror.
No thanks.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Anyway. Okay.
I fear I'll get assaulted by his creepy dick jokes,
Anyway.
Oh, that's the least you got to worry about. You're going to get raped by his beard first.
Anyway, yeah, this freaking women...
This match was goes beyond just a women's match. I think this is the story that was told in this match of ultimately Bayley's triumph. I mean,
it's a bar setter again. We said that before tonight, but it's a bar setter.
Exactly. They set the bar for their entire division, for women's wrestling as a whole, and for, in fact, the entire roster, because they had everybody in that arena eating out.
Wouldn't want to be the birds who had to follow that up.
Exactly. I mean, I almost felt bad for Owens and Balor having to follow that up, but I had absolute faith that they could. And then we were retreated to another special moment. I was going to talk about my favorite spot in this match. My favorite spot of this match is when Sasha has Bayley locked in the bank statement, pulling back on it. And, she's like, Bayley looks like she's about to tap. And she rolls her leg out and kicks off the rope and reverses it. I was like, holy shit, that was the greatest thing I ever saw in my life. Lost my mind.
It was great.
Yeah.
I was just like, do the laws of physics even, apply to you right now? Because that was fucking something else.
Those are spots you see in, like, wrestling matches from 2002, 2003, just those, they call them fighting spirit moments.
So I guess it's safe to say from this match that we can all say that there was clearly a lot of it was a throwback to what I like to call, all right, I wasn't there at the time because you guys introduced me into the sport, but the heady days of wrestling.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, to say that this was the best women's match in 15 years, really, I feel doesn't do it justice, because this is were they going to rank matches of the 2010s and beyond? I think this will be an all-time great match.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think the phrase you're looking for is timeless.
Yeah, timeless match, man. This is an all-timer, I think. And I'm not even going to factor in the fact of what we got after the fact, because
It was just, the cherry on top.
I get feels, man. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm a 31-year-old man, single. Hey now, and I got emotional
Ladies, you single?
watching a wrestling.
Yeah. Just
I got
ladies, you can buy Brandon Liggan's time for just $5 an hour.
Just $5 an hour, and then $10 if you want the clothes come off. That's where the real fun starts.
Please call us and be prepared to hold.
Anyway, yeah. And again, I got the feels, man. I was legitimately teared up, and it wasn't just because I was stoned. Like there were actual tears coming out of my eyes.
I think one day, Mr. Liggan, you should review wrestling, like on TV or something properly, and that would be the greatest soundbite in the world. This match was amazing. Like Cisco and Ebert, not 2 thumbs up. And why was it amazing? Because
I cried.
Not just because I wasn't stoned.
I cried from a wrestling match. When have you ever cried from a wrestling? I mean, literally, I think the last wrestling match I probably cried at was Shawn Michaels' retirement match.
It was in WWE, and I went for a piss break over the Divas, and I accidentally caught my wink in my zip. Does that count?
No.
Yeah, it does count, sure. But the genuine emotion that they got, not just me, and I'm sure very many other people felt watching this match was...
Yeah, but you could see it though. Like in the match, you could see everyone who was ringside. It was just this sounds really.
I really felt
it anyway. It was bathing over them, and they were just completely and utterly pumped, and that's what it should be about.
Yeah, I really. Sorry, go on, Liz.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I have ended up crying over many Divas matches, but that was the first one that I was happy about it.
Oh yeah, I mean you can say that a lot of them. A lot of the Divas matches make you cry, but I mean, you felt touched. Bailey finally reaching the top of the mountain.
I was like the Grinch with like my heart grew like 3 sizes.
Exactly, your heart grew 5 sizes that day. Leslie's heart grew 5 sizes that day. And a single tear.
That's the worst impression of Boris Karloff I've ever heard. Sorry.
God damn, I wasn't trying to be good.
Just trying to be
good because you weren't.
I know. Yeah, man. Those girls, those ladies, those fucking bad fucking bitches of wrestling. They
put benchmark, not just for female wrestling, which is good because they elevated it to the level it should be. Because I don't want to sound like a sexist prick, but let's be honest, your average wrestling fan only watches it for the blokes. Like they consider female wrestling by the way, and that's not fair.
A lot of my former associates, have very Greg the Hammer Valentine like views on wrestling that that they should only be along ringside clapping and cheering. Yay, no, yay, boo.
Wow.
Your former associates wouldn't even allow that.
Can I just say this quickly, Mr. Liggan? When you say your former associates and he said they should be just in the background clapping around ringside, does this guy live in like the 50s?
Yeah,
apparently.
Yes. Really? Apparently in some countries, yes.
But no, the point I was going to make was this wasn't just a great, female match. It was also a great match that makes everyone else have to look upon this and say, that's a fucking match right there. There was intensity, there was emotion, there was heart, there was skill,
that moment,
there was stamina.
where it looked like Sasha broke Bayley's hand in the ring steps, and you have this again the whole story.
I love that spot. Like that was such a genius spot to do. But I'm like at the same time, I'm like, really, she can't just pull her hand out of that. Like, I mean, I get that's a perfect way to it's such a uncommon thing rather to work over body part to work over the hand. Like, oh, I'm gonna work your hand today in the match. Like that's it's usually arm, leg, neck, back. Like those are the body parts you work in a match. I'm gonna work your hand.
Yeah. Interesting is what I thought.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, Bayley did it perfectly. Like, oh my god, I can't possibly move my hand up these stairs that are only 5 to 10 pounds at most, probably. Oh my god. And then she kicked it into it and she sold it perfectly. I mean, it was great. And I love the fact that they got to all celebrate together.
And
Yeah.
good for the sport as well.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
throwing up the 4-horseman, 4-horseman deal. Well, it's 4
Yeah,
horsewomen, but we know where it came from.
It was the curtain call 2.0, man. Some people were saying, "Oh, it kind of breaks kayfabe. It's not good. It's not good for the business." Da, 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 da.
Kayfabe's been dead.
Exactly, bro. Kayfabe died in the 1990s, or at least in the 2000s, when the internet came and killed it. Like,
Definitely say curtain call in '96, but yeah, with the internet, yeah, it's fucking done. Goodbye.
yeah, man. I think like,
Well,
I
yeah.
had this. I just have this argument with people all the time. I'm like, we're pretty much the cat is out of the bag that wrestling is, scripted and predetermined, and not these people don't actually hate each other for the most part.
For the most part.
There are some exceptions, obviously. We're not going to discuss that now, but we all know what we're talking about. So when we're watching wrestling, we're suspending that belief. It's an accepted suspension of belief. But again, I'm glad these girls got the chance to celebrate, and on their way back, and I don't know, it was never shown footage, but if they didn't get a standing ovation from their peers, I think their peers did them a tremendous disservice.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Totally, man. All right, moving on to what was the piece de resistance of the evening. How do you?
I want to say one quick thing on the women. I love Sasha's entrance.
Yeah, again, like I said, I love these over-the-top entrances for the specials. Keep bringing them back, man.
And
Orlando's gonna hate us though. I'm like, the Brooklyn crowd dished it right back to them. Like,
yeah. Full sale sucks.
The only bloke at work I know who watches wrestling actually said to me about that entrance, which is, oh, he's so over the top and stupid. I'm like, dude, you're not watching boxing. You're not watching like a regular sport. It's supposed to be over the top.
I think boxing and MMA wish they could fucking come up with some of the shit that WWE comes up with. Believe me, if Dana White could get away with it and not say, "Oh, you're trying to rip off pro wrestling now with the fucking entrances, bro," really? Mm-hmm. Like, if he didn't have to deal with the meathead portion of his fans that would say that, he would absolutely encourage like people like Conor McGregor to come out on a fucking horse wearing a fucking kilt or some shit.
Yeah, in boxing we would see more than Floyd Mayweather coming out with Justin Bieber.
There would come out Mayweather would literally come out like Xerxes in 300. Like,
I'm gonna give you the greatest tip of your life, people. Everyone out there in podcast land, which is when someone ends a conversation with "bro," really, or "bro," seriously, your next stop of call should be, "What are you, fucking 12?"
Yeah.
Sometimes, yes, I am 12. Sometimes when I'm doing this show, I am 12.
I can't make a bad joke. I can't help myself. Oh, sorry, Leslie, carry on.
No, it was nothing important.
This is going to say just. It's the thing I get in trouble for right now in my home life and my work life, which is I keep quoting the Deadpool trailer, which is every time I have a good day, I just go, "I'm touching myself tonight."
Smell your guns. God, it's going to be so awesome. February, bitches. February. Anyway, back on to the
motherfucker. Sorry, not you, Ken. I just love that bit when Ryan Reynolds just goes, "Motherfucker." Yeah. Why do you care? You can heal.
On to the ladder match.
Oh boy,
this was my favorite one.
This was your favorite time. They've done a ladder match in NXT. The first time was Adrian Neville and Bo Dallas.
Yeah,
we talked about this, didn't we, last week, Nick? Which is, it's good because, I mean, I love ladder matches. I really, really do. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, where NXT is kind of better with it than, standard WWE is, they don't overuse it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So it's always kind of like fresh, and you've got that little bit of anticipation and excitement in your chest, if that makes sense, which is, what's going to happen here? Because with WWE, you're like, well, I know someone's going to win. I don't want to win, but you've done this so many bloody times. What are you going to do that's new? But that's why I fucking love this ladder match.
I'm gonna take off the phones for a bit. No, I kind of agree with you. I mean, they have definitely gone away from doing the ladder matches as regular things, so it has become more of a specialized gimmick match. My biggest surprise was this was the first. I mean, I really shouldn't be surprised by it, but I guess hearing it made me surprised. This is Finn Balor's first ladder match. No, I mean they don't really do a whole lot of ladder matches in Japan. Yes, that's not a very
That's because
Japanese.
sorry, Japan. That's because they're all short. Sorry.
and they usually do giant stadium shows, so you really can't.
Do you know they've missed a really, really good trick here, which they could use to, like when you, particularly in Japan, when you try and do something to, sell a product to someone else, they could do the ladder match. Then right at the end, the wrestler who wins could lean on his ladder and just go, and remember, kids, this ladder was bought to you by Home Depot, only $29.99.
Oh.
They could do something like that. I'm sure I'm sure someone has offered Vince McMahon money to use only their ladders, but they have to use a special gimmick ladder that doesn't, break or doesn't hurt somebody when they land on it.
I hope you're not suggesting that this sport is fake, Mr. Liggan.
I know that they're using that when someone gets hit with a chair, it's not actually a steel chair; it's a very light. Yeah, I know. I'm demystifying the business.
What she's saying is, it's like The Simpsons, which is, what do you want to do when you want to replicate a cow on screen? Oh, we just tape a bunch of cats together.
Yeah, basically it is. It's basically what a steel chair is. I mean, I've sat in a gimmick chair once, and it's not comfortable. It feels like I'm gonna literally break it with my ass.
So what are they actually made out of then? Gimmick chairs?
It's made out of some sort of it's made out of metal, but it's a very lighter
aluminum,
metal.
Probably.
Yeah.
Let me correct you there, Mr. Nick. I think you mean aluminium. Sorry.
It's not like galvanized nickel or anything else like that. It's really low grade. Yeah. This inanimate carbon
totally flogged the chairs on eBay afterwards, though, couldn't they? This chair was used to wrap around the Hulk's head.
No, because they all go into storage and stuff like that. And I'm sure they have a WWE museum that they bring out. So this ladder match,
it's really thin metal though, and they twat them so hard. I'd like to think that somewhere in the museum where they keep all the props and stuff for the the metal chairs, there's one with people's faces imprinted on the bottom.
There's probably plenty of those faces and backs and heads and who knows what else. Yeah, plenty.
And a bag of bloody thumbtacks.
Yeah, probably. I
would love to see the chair up close that Balls Mahoney hit Masato Tanaka with in 2006. One of the sickest chair shots I've ever seen in my life.
I've met Balls a few times at shows and stuff like that. He just has the same chair with him. So I don't know if it's that same exact chair, but he's pretty much had the same chair with him.
Sorry, Brendan. I've met Balls a lot of time, but I don't like to talk about it in public. Sorry.
Me and Balls are pretty tight,
I was making a prison rape joke.
Oh, it's okay. I picked up on it.
I was just trying to keep the dick joke going. Anyway, this ladder match. Holy shit. Does anybody else have something to say? Because, this was...
Can I talk about the openings?
Yeah, go for it. Because there were great stuff about the opening.
First, I used to dance for 10 years. And a lot of times when they come... What,
10 years in one stretch? My God, you must be very fit. Sorry.
No, this was also 10 years ago. But sometimes when the wrestlers come out, it's not in sync with the music, and it bothers me. And Finn Balor's entrance is just so perfectly in sync with the music, although it takes 25 minutes. I was really impressed by that.
Yeah. I don't know how he came up with that, because this is not something he did in Japan, so it wasn't something he was rehashing for somebody else.
Right.
This is just something hey, I'm gonna do this now, and this kind of works.
The crowd loved it.
Oh, the crowd eats that shit up, man.
Oh, most definitely.
15,000 people at once when those lights came on, and they all have their arms apart in the air, like he does. It's perfect. But the moment
not enough foam fingers for my liking, by the way. Not enough foam fingers. Just want to say.
Okay, well, I mean, they are, I think, starting to sell some of those Too Sweet foam fingers now. I started seeing the Balor Club shirts too. Those definitely make me pretty hype. But I mean, me and you both enjoyed the shit out of this moment. When Kevin Owens is sitting in Corey Graves' announce chair, clearly just bored out of his mind with
Yes.
So amazing.
Oh God, that's just
I am not impressed. I
perfect.
love it.
Yeah, whoever was the director of that show is just perfect, man. Like, just this
Do
is
you know what I
great.
thought when I saw that? I was like, dude, can you at least try and hide your disappointment? Because people paid a lot of money for this. It's
Oh, I
unprofessional.
loved it. I thought it was great. I feel like he's my spirit animal because I was kind of starting to get bored, even though like I really liked the entrance. And so then I saw Kevin Owens' face like that, and I was just like, that's perfect. That is exactly how I feel.
Finn Balor's entrance isn't even long compared to like the Undertaker entrance. Like, it's a quarter of an Undertaker entrance. Like, that's how I think.
I'd go make a sandwich.
That's the measuring. Yes, exactly. That's the measuring stick of long entrances. Can you get up and?
Well, it's
do
funny.
something?
The only bloke I talked to at work about wrestling said this a couple of weeks ago, which was, can you imagine if the Undertaker had a director's cut entrance? Like, dude, that would fill up a whole fucking DVD.
The whole show. Like, he would start his opponent would come out in the first match, and then 2 hours later, it would be in the ring, and that. Anyway, this ladder. Yeah, this ladder match. I mean, if Finn Balor to have his first ladder match, I couldn't think of anybody more perfect for him to have it with, because if you've ever seen a Kevin Steen wrestling match, a ladder match on the independent circuit, sight to behold, my friends. Sight to behold. Dare I say, that guy did things. He innovated the ladder match, where Shawn and Razor, exposed it and brought it to, a
mainstream.
brought it to a wider audience.
Right.
He did things with a ladder and his own body that are just insane. I mean, yes, Sandman was the first person to put the ladder around himself and spin around, but just doing insane things with a ladder. Kind of knowing.
Commitment to the cause is the phrase you're looking for, I think.
Exactly, and it's also probably the reason why his body is in the condition it's in. Because of how he worked. I mean, here's a guy who never met a ladder spot he didn't like.
Yeah.
Basically, never took a ladder bump he didn't like.
I like to think when people do, the people who've always fought in ladder matches, I like to think that when they're around their house and they're doing like DIY and shit like that, and they climb up a ladder, they're always pensive and a little bit nervous, and they keep looking down to make sure that someone's not there to whip it away from them.
Or they just get to the top and they look around and see something off in the distance.
Yeah, they get to the top and go, whoa, yeah, in your face, motherfuckers! And then his wife says,
my
clear
favorite
the fucking gutters.
My favorite is the look around like, oh, I was gonna go up here and do something, but now I see this opportunity to do something else. We got that in the match. Finn Balor pulled that off.
I do have to say this. I love ladder matches, but my biggest peeve with ladder matches, and it wasn't that bad or prevalent in this one, which is when they climb to the top of the ladder and the belt's just hanging there, and then they make a point, having just, lambasted the guy into the floor, and they clearly got a shot at getting the fucking belt. They climb to the top, and the first thing they always do is look around, and it's like, fuck off! Just grab the fucking belt.
Grab the damn thing, really.
Yeah. Well, that's wrestling. That's giving the guy a little bit of extra time to recover and then relishing in the moment. That's what it's all about. Enjoying the crowd, stoking that crowd up some more. This match had some pretty unforgivable spots. I mean, not as Smash Mouth and as Trainwrecky as I thought it was gonna be, but.
This was. Can I go on record? This was. This was my highlight.
This was your highlight.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite spots was when Owens had the ladder and he was pinning Balor up against the ring, and then he runs at it and he just stops and then just punches him.
Yeah, he thinks he's going to do something. That's classic Kevin Owens right now. Like, thinking you want to do something high enough, like, no, I'm just going to hit you a bunch of times.
It was
Or
like
it's
that.
somewhere he's completely fucking with the fans, where he goes like he's gonna do something and then he just drops and does a rear chin lock.
Yep.
Like, this is what I thought at that moment, which was it kind of at least to me, it felt like a throwback to the old sort of 50s boxing movies, which is it looked like, he didn't do this obviously. He was spinning his left fist in a circle, and then the bloke came forward and then he hit him with the right fist, and it's just like, classic comedy right there.
Yeah, I think that's just a little bit of Kevin coming out in his character.
I say let him do more then, people, because that was funny.
I think if he could keep doing this more, I think Kevin Owens might become WWE's King of the Ladder match.
So do we think this is all right, obviously he's established and stuff like that, but do we think this may possibly, I did at least, watching this fight, his moment to shine, if that makes sense? Because
no, because obviously his moment to shine, you want him to obviously win the match. It's his moment to...
Oh, no, I know, but I just thought it was preparation towards a bigger future, if that makes sense.
This was vindication, I think, for him. This was... I call this the culmination of his journey. Like, whatever happens to his career beyond this moment, I think is bonus, because this was a big weekend. He wrestled on two big shows, and technically three, if you count Raw. I mean, I really don't count him wrestling on Raw. We'll talk about that later.
Which is a big deal as well, because if you look at, stamina and fatigue and stuff like that, that's a blinder. That's consummate professional right there.
Exactly. He wrestled 3 nights back-to-back in the same arena in New York City, a place where he had wrestled several times, but never in front of a crowd that big. Same thing with Samoa Joe, and he performed at his highest level.
Do we think that to some degree that the reason they a lot of people, I don't want to say they deliberately raised their A game, because I'm not saying they would never deliver their A game, but the audience size was clearly sort of something that got most of these wrestlers pumped, and they felt the need to deliver.
I would probably say that with the exception of Finn Balor and Liger, guys who've been in Japan and wrestled in front of crowds that similar size, that was the biggest crowd a lot of those people have been on.
But you could see it, is my point, which is you can see it was fueling them, if that makes sense.
And Samoa Joe, with the exception of Joe, Liger, and Finn Balor. Well, maybe even think Samoa Joe hadn't wrestled in New York, in front of a crowd in New York that big before. 15,000 people.
In their defense, though, the reason they weren't so excited when they performed in Japan was all the people watching them in the audience were too busy downloading hentai porn on their mobile phones.
And they're very silent in Japan as far as being concerned.
Well, is it true that in Japan the greatest salute to a sports athlete is to say nothing? Like they don't have
all the matches
standing
going
ovations.
on. Yeah, generally speaking, like while a wrestling match is going on, the crowd is silent. They're just taking in this match. And when there's like a big spot or something like that, then you'll see lots of clapping. There are no chants. There are no, you'll see people like, Kenta, that kind of stuff. That's as far as
that'd be awesome though if you were there, as someone from the West, because you could actually hear the match.
Yeah,
that works.
Exactly.
They mentioned that in the Kingdom 9
Wrestle Kingdom
commentary. They were actually like, we're going to stop talking because it's kind of weird for us to be doing this the entire time.
Yeah, because it's not how you watch Japanese wrestling. Yeah. You take it in. It's not really. They're not really telling a story in Japanese wrestling. Like they're storyline. They're telling the story in the ring.
Yeah,
like, they're not trying to hammer home this other narrative.
If I ever go to Japan and I watch, wrestling in Japan, I already got my next line lined up for, any girl who's very attractive in the audience. The minute the match ends, I just want to lean into it and just say, want to go for noodles? I think it works.
It's not what I expected you to say, but yeah, that could work, man. There's one spot I want to talk about that really kind of like blew my mind, where I was like, oh shit, are they really going to do this? Was that package suplex
Yeah.
tees
Right.
off onto the ladder. I mean, what a great way to do the ladder spot, but for that like split second, even though I had saw the GIF online of Kevin Owens laying on the ladder, obviously like landing and laying on the ladder. When he had him up ready to do that, I'm just like, he's not gonna fisherman drive him
Right.
onto the ladder. Holy shit, that's gonna be fucking awesome. But it didn't happen. But the tease was awesome.
Right. And
It
then Owens
was.
took that bump onto that ladder. I'm thinking, well, that had to have sucked.
No, again, Kevin Owens has not met a ladder he hasn't wanted to bump onto.
I'm not gonna
He's
lie.
like
I watched that
he's like
sequence.
RVD in a way who would take these insane bumps on the ladders. My God, he would just like straight up land on them, and it's like rolling thunder onto the no crash. Like
Yep. Yeah, just no regard for his own safety.
I think I remember watching Jeff Hardy once do a swanton off of the top rope, and he just landed like right on the ladder. And it's just those things where
Fake metal or not, that's gonna leave a mark.
well, I'm sure it left a mark on Joey Mercury's nose when he took that ladder to the face.
Truly.
Oh God, that's still one of the sickest things because you just see it just up, bam, and like
Do you know
3
what,
seconds.
right?
Oh,
I have to say really quickly because back in the day, almost over a year ago, when I first started talking on Slamcast, you, Burhan, and Nick said, "What's the thumbtack match?" Not his match, obviously. And that was when I used to be like, "Oh, I don't believe in this sport. It's really, really stupid." Before you got me completely addicted to it, but I've never looked
I
at
remember
thumbtacks ever since the
we
same way. I just look at them, just go like, "Holy fuck!" He's picking them out of his back. It's disgusting.
I remember quite well the first match we actually played you to get you to respect the modern craft of pro wrestling, and it was Mick Foley versus The Undertaker from King of the Ring '99.
98.
Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
'98. The Hell in the
And
Cell.
thank you very much, people, because my wallet
Well,
has taken a massive hit since.
Yep, you're welcome. You're welcome.
But no, seriously, I mean it. Well, we call them drawing pins, but in this country, every time I walk down an aisle at work that has like drawing pins or thumbtacks hanging on the wall, I just look at it and I shiver to myself and just go, "Whew," and then walk on because that was fucking beyond epic.
Yeah.
And I just remember saying to myself, "Yeah, it's not fake.
Well,
That
that was the
looked like
match
it
they
hurt a lot."
had to put a governor on Mick Foley because he would have fucking killed himself.
Eventually. I think they probably put a governor on those two guys, too, in that match because I think if they would have let them, Kevin Owens would have, packaged pile drived
You would have
Finn
killed him.
Balor on. Yeah, absolutely. He would have packaged pile drive him off a ladder onto another ladder.
Oh yeah.
Totally. But
And there you go. Here's a testament to what I just said, which is, just saying there, describing it. Oh, he would have killed him. Thank you for, bringing me into this brethren, because, well, my wallet's not.
One day
depleted.
you might see somebody die on
Yeah.
on channel.
Well, it's happened
Yeah,
before, though.
it certainly is a possibility. But hats off to Balor for winning this match. I mean, obviously, lost my headphones a little bit. Obviously, this puts to bed the feud between him and Owens. I think.
You think?
I think so. Yeah, because I think you're going to see probably Owens transition to
I
the
don't know.
main
I
roster.
felt that they would leave it in the back burner.
No, I think
something
they're
that
gonna
matters.
find. I think they're gonna find a temporary number one contender for him, have him feud with that, and then actually, they announced they're doing this Dusty Rhodes
Yes.
Tag Team Classic, which will probably be an open round robin tag team tournament. Getting the hiccups.
Mm-hmm.
So that I'm assuming will take up the next 2 months of NXT programming. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to?
So I heard
by the way,
Balor
Brandon, 'cause I get it a lot. You want to know how to get rid of the hiccups?
Just swallow your breath.
No, that's bollocks, right? Pinch yourself in the gap between, your forearm and your bicep. Pinch yourself and hold it to the point where it makes your eyes water. Gets rid of hiccups every time.
I'm not going to do that while I'm podcasting. That'll just be distracting.
I'm just saying I hate hiccups, so I was just trying to.
So that was the NXT show. I thought it was a very good show. I thought the commentary was, excellent. For every bad thing Byron Saxton does on Raw, he made it up by being a continually great thing.
I think WWE's got look at that and pay attention, because they really, really bought their A game, and it was absolutely fantastic. And it was so much better than half the pay-per-view events they do. And it's like, pay attention, WWE. That was amazing.
Yeah, man, that's how it's done. I mean, the one knock I will give on the whole presentation of it is Rich Brennan definitely. I don't know if he was nervous or if Triple H yells in his ear the same way Vince McMahon yells in the WWE.
He was distracted by blue pants.
He was distracted by blue pants. It's certainly possible. He was distracted by Sasha's outfit. Any number
Alexa
of
Bliss,
things.
Bailey.
Any number of things could have gotten in Rich Brennan's head. Rich Brennan seemed like he was off his game. He flubbed several lines. Even pronounced somebody's name wrong. I can't remember who, but I was just like, Richard, I know you're better than that. You're normally a solid NXT commentator when you're on tapings. Come on, you're better than that live.
I think it's safe to say if you paid for this live event and you went there to the stadium, you wouldn't have been disappointed. You'd have walked out the door afterwards and just went, yes, that was fucking the dog's bollocks.
No, and if you sat and watched that show live, you have no doubts you witnessed one of the top 5, top 10 wrestling shows of the year that you'll be talking about. Hands down, top 5 wrestling event of the year, NXT Takeover Brooklyn. Bet.
Sign on that.
So that brings us to part 2, and I know we kind of went at length about this, and I'm not going to talk about all 12 matches about SummerSlam.
Oh hell no!
Because it was really laborious. But it was a great show, SummerSlam, and it started out, a little rocky.
I thought it was mediocre.
Yeah, okay. Dave thinks it was mediocre. I think it was great. I have some highlights. I mean, everybody obviously knows what the big 2 highlights were that we'll talk about. But
I'm not saying it was bad, period, across the board. I'm just saying some of it felt a little bit kind of, how should I phrase this, cobbled together, if that makes sense.
That's the exact definition of mediocre. Not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it was Orton and Sheamus out there. Now we gotta give these guys something to do match.
I mean, I guess it was
crunching the numbers, if you will.
It was either this or Cesaro Owens opening the show, and Orton and Sheamus drew the short straw.
Yeah, and it was whatever. Sheamus wins, LOL.
Yeah, I mean, no. I was actually surprised by that, because it always seems to be that Orton was going to be Orton wins, LOL, and we just move on with it. But it really seems that they're booking Sheamus to be like a tough guy,
holding him up.
A winning Money in the Bank contract holder. When's the last time we had one of those?
I know. Such an outmoded and foreign concept, Nicholas. What are we dealing with here? What is going on? I don't know. What?
Is this real life? Is this the fuck? Am I dreaming?
What were you gonna say?
Oh my god! It's Groundhog Day.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. No, I kind of expected Sheamus to win, because he won the Money in the Bank, and then Orton was in his hometown this time, so they put Orton over. So it seemed like Sheamus was due for this big going.
But does this feud keep going, or do these guys just kind of go their separate ways and migrate onto something else?
I wish they migrated onto something else. I'm just tired. They do it every week on Raw, and
exactly. No, we've also seen this match set up disposition differently, where Orton was the heel and Sheamus was the face. I mean, they're both great talents in the ring.
Yep.
Orton is an all-time generational great. Sheamus, I think, is on the cusp of being known as that. Just give him a couple more good runs.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I don't have anything.
Do you think he'll get them? Because this, to me, at least, was kind of...
I think time is against him because his advanced age, and how he got to the WWE itself late. But, I mean, I don't doubt, you know, his ability in the ring, his ability on the microphone, and his ability to be marketable. So it's just time. It's just if he gets his time within his very small window of opportunity. I don't have anything bad to say about
I
this
could,
match.
I could happily see more of him like this in this sort of progressive
True.
role and winning and shit. I think, like you said, he's got a very small window and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think he's got potential to go out in one big swan song, if that makes
But
sense.
this also kind of makes me believe, and you bring that up, Swan Song. This also makes me fearful that we could actually see a successful Sheamus cash in.
No.
And Sheamus, I know you don't want to think about it, Les,
Ugh.
but it's a possibility that it could be very. This is the WWF we're talking about. WWE we're talking about. The land of the giants. Vince McMahon loves his big
You
muscly
need
men.
someone to lose every few years. That's why they gave it to Sheamus.
I guess. I don't know, man.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I would like to see Sheamus go out on a high, if that makes sense.
I don't think he's going to go out on a high immediately, but like on this. But I could see that happening. That being said, I have nothing positive or negative to say about this match. Nothing really out of the ordinary happened. They didn't pull out any special stops. Moving on.
Oh, it's bland. It's not like a regular fucking WrestleMania fight, but it just, it was bland. But
in the
I do think that he kind of established himself in such a way that it's like, oh, come on, WWE, give Sheamus his fucking due.
Yeah, in the complete opposite of Sheamus and Orton, came out the New Day.
Yes.
And
this was brilliant.
I may have been earlier critical on previous episodes of the New Day, how it's just kind of a slapped together gimmick, really doesn't know what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's found that now.
Oh hell yeah! They come out in these spiffy white outfits. Seems like everyone that was wearing white this week won a title, but we'll get into that.
Hey man, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with
Kingston shoes.
Oh my, yeah, those are an actual pair of Adidas that they make. I forget what the name.
I know, it was amazing.
They're the ugliest shoes I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
I think you mean Adidas.
On Kofi Kingston, they're genius.
Yes,
exactly.
Being, I guess, unabashed goofballs has these guys calling cards.
There's a T-shirt, by the way, Brandon. There's a T-shirt in that right there.
Unabashed goofballs, yeah. Being unabashed goofballs and just being, because Kofi Kingston's a nerd. Xavier Woods is a huge nerd. He's a goddamn doctorate, for Christ's sake, so he's definitely a nerd. And Big E is a closet nerd, whether or not people want to know that about Big E, just because they see a big muscly guy, they see a big meathead who does nothing.
Dude is entertaining as fuck. I mean, the dance he does, it's the Guile theme of dances.
That's it. Like fast forward to the end of the match. I don't remember anything about the match other than New Day winning the tag team titles. I don't remember how it was kind of screwy blind tags and great way to do that in those kind of tag team matches. I don't remember anything else about the match because Big E danced. I mean, if we had to make a GIF for this show and Nick would do it, it would just be a constant Big E dance over and over and over again. If I saw a podcast of that, I'd pop huge for that. But
I demand we change the name of this podcast to Big E Dance.
Big E. Well, I think the picture should just be Big E just doing with the straps down, like just doing the nay or whatever the fuck he was doing. Just.
I demand a picture on the thumbnail of this podcast, and it just says, "You got a picture of Big E pointing at the camera, and it just says, how you doing?"
Oh, Big E.
Works for me.
Big E. Listen, Big E.
So fucking funny.
Doesn't watch wrestling at all, and there was a joke Big E did that she did 20 years ago, and I sent it to her, and she loves the New Day, just based on
I've come around, man. I've come around. I remember I was not against it. I was not for it. I was, this is the best these guys could do. This is such a generic racist Vince McMahon angle. Give the black guys, make the black guys be preachers.
Make them
But
dance.
yeah, make
There's
them
another
shucking.
T-shirt right there, by the way. I'm writing this shit down, by the way, Brandon. There's another T-shirt right there. Is this the best they can do? Yeah, Jeanette racist, thanks.
Generic racist gimmicks. Yeah, but
I'd wear that. I'd totally wear that shirt.
we're gonna make shirts one of these days, and we'll just have all of our various catchphrases.
Yep.
The
I
things
actually
that
have a Slamcast shirt. I should take a picture of it, shouldn't I? But
Yeah. Dave has the only Slamcast shirt in production
Yes.
or
yeah,
in existence. We'll have a creepy page moment of the week shirt.
it says on the back, Nick will get this.
Please
Flaming
don't
like
murder me,
wanker.
Mr. Knight.
Love that.
Hashtag creepy page moment of the week. Yeah, Big E dance. I'm sorry I got distracted away from Big E dance, but just Big E dance all day, all night. Then we got an Intercontinental title match.
Oh, you
Total
got it.
store fit.
I dance, you
Yeah.
dance, Biggie dance. There you go. T-shirt
Yeah.
gold right there.
Wait, wait a minute. I think you just might have found a new episode for the show. I dance, you dance, Big E dance.
Yes. Oh yes.
I think you might have just topped Blue Pan City. That's hard to do. That's hard to do.
I think he definitely topped Blue Pants City.
I
Love it.
think so. Dave wins the title game today.
Yes. I mean,
do you know what's really annoying? Because I'm talking, but don't get me wrong, I love talking to you guys, but I feel the need that there should be more people in my room right now so I can just go fist bump. I did that.
We should really do that. I mean, granted, if we could all get us together in the same room, I would absolutely do
I
this.
dance, you dance, Biggie dance. I gotta write that down before I forget.
Yeah, I dance, you dance, Big E dance. And then picture of Big E dancing.
yes.
Just all day. I just can watch that all day. Anyway, boring Intercontinental title match. Yawn.
Yeah,
Ryback
yawn.
Yeah, would be champion. I don't hate Ryback as much as.
Actually, by the way, this was actually my piss break. By the way,
This was a lot of people's piss break. I call it the generic Big Show piss break because again,
Yeah.
the audible groan that you hear from the audience
God.
time, it's like, oh god, the Big Show. And
If you pause it and look really hard at the audience, you can actually see at least fucking 400 people rolling their eyes.
Yes, and then they turn to whoever they're with. They say, "Do you want to take a piss?" And then they get up and leave. All before you get to Big Show of his song. Because
it's the piss break.
I mean, for me, again, anytime I hear that song, it will be.
I think though, they should have just walked to the edge of the ring and just said, "By the way, people in Brooklyn, anyone want to take a piss? Do it now."
Basically, this match is going to be about 11 minutes. You have exactly that
11 minutes of your life you will never get back.
Yeah. I remember the days when the Intercontinental title was held by the best worker in the company. Yeah, I miss those days. Anyway.
This is why I have this theory that Titus O'Neil should be the next Intercontinental Champion. Just scrap everything, make him, and then do a good guy Daniel Bryan when he comes back, and good guy Titus.
Just be the good guy title. They used to have it was called the
trying to out volunteer each other.
I love that phrase. Out volunteer each other. Oh, it's brilliant.
Just who's ever the nicest guy title.
Exactly.
Just a good guy. I mean, of course, John Cena winning that. Hey, Mr. 500 Make-A-Wishes. What's going on?
Sorry, Leslie. I'm going to pass that phrase off with my own, by the way, which is.
That's okay.
Just out good guy.
That's fine. A lot of people do that.
So yeah, what was the next match? I really don't remember the next match. I know it was
after the Intercontinental was Roman Reigns.
Well, yeah, Roman Reigns. Yeah.
The make Roman look real strong match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it made him look real strong for the night, but we'll talk about what happened later, the aftermath of that. Good match, top to bottom. We pretty much got the result you wanted. I mean, it was pretty much obvious that Ambrose and Reigns were winning that match.
Right, although I didn't think it was going to be because of it wasn't going to be Roman pinning Bray. I thought they were saving that for the one final single match. I made the comment in the thread in the group that, well, we don't need to see Roman versus Bray in another singles match.
Or do we? To be continued later on in the show.
Yes.
So yeah, that match happened. It was all right, but we got something that happened to it later. We'll talk about that on Raw.
Dare we say it? Filler.
No, it wasn't filler. It wasn't filler. I think they had the creative in mind all along. This was a step on the road, is what I'll call it.
Right.
Yes.
Step on the road.
The start of a journey, if you will. I still say filler.
Yes. But... Yes, the start of the journey between this Shield family, Wyatt family, kind of.
I just found there was no emotion in it.
See the emotion again. It's because you're just looking at it at what it was Sunday, not what happened Monday, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
Yes.
What was the next match that happened? Because this is where it gets kind of screwy. It wasn't the title match. Yes. See, and it was at this point in time that I realized I took a big, deep breath. Because when Orton and Sheamus opened the show...
You're going to say big piss. Sorry.
No, I took a big, deep breath. Because when Orton and Sheamus opened the show, I thought, uh-oh. Possible Money in the Bank cash-in contract at the end of the night.
Right.
You did?
Cough sign here.
For shame.
I did. I really thought that was a possibility. Then this match happened in the middle of the card, and I'm like, okay. Now
Wait, this match happened in the middle of your car? Wow.
Middle of the card. That's card.
Impressive. Oh, I thought you said car.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, kind of center. It was, not semi-main. Wasn't main. Wasn't. It was before the Divas match too.
It was at the 2-hour mark of the show. It was smack dab in the middle of a 4-hour show. An advertised 4-hour show. Originally 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, this is where I started to get nervous because here we go. It's Seth Rollins.
No. I didn't get nervous. I got apprehensive because I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew they weren't going to give Cena the title in the middle of the show. I know that's a closing event.
Yeah.
To give Cena the tying title reign, all the other Ric Flair pomp and circumstance, yada yada.
Apprehensive is good, though, surely.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because I was, somewhere deep down in my brain preparing myself for Seth Rollins to lose and John Cena to tie the Ric Flair record.
Yeah, Cena wins, LOL.
Exactly, because that's what always happens. But when this match took place in the middle of the card, I'm like, something's up. Something's up.
So what's going on here? So
suspicious. So, we got a great match between those two. Just again, another top quality match from Rollins. People complain all and on and on and on about he doesn't win his matches cleanly, yada yada yada. But it's when you're the champion, it's not always about the final result.
It's about keeping the title. And especially when you're the heel champion, hey, guess what? You're going to keep that title at all costs. So
who said wrestling had to be pretty? That's what I don't get when people are like, he didn't do this, this move or this move or this move. Like, but, title.
Not so much that with Seth Rollins because he breaks out a different kind of seems like a different move every match. I've never seen him work the same match twice.
Mm-hmm.
The way he just spaces out some of the things to do, you'll see it for a while. Cena will do the five knuckle shuffle right before he sets up for the AA, every time. That's where it is. That's where it is.
You mean he has a wank? Oh, disgraceful.
Anyway, he will just set it up for that, that part of the match. Seth Rollins will break out, things that he does at the end of one match as the first thing he does. We saw it again, by the way, too. I love that this is becoming a regular thing for him. The superplex into Falcon Arrow. That's a finishing move right there, bro.
Yeah.
Another fantastic match from Rollins. Cena's got to stop doing that springboard stunner.
I was about to say, hashtag
Or-
stop the stunner.
Or at least practice it more. I mean, I don't want to kind of that was very botcherific. I mean, I don't want to kind of blame Rollins because Rollins looked like he might have.
Botchamania, you know.
He might have been. There was a little. That was a little botch. That we'll definitely see that clip on Botchamania. I don't want to call that entirely being Rollins' fault, being out of place. But maybe Rollins was a little out of
Cena Cena does a way better figure four than he does a springboard stunner.
which is saying much. But again, he got a great match another great match out of these two. And you could even start to hear the we hate Cena, let's go Seth chants were a little bit more even than they normally were, and especially being a Brooklyn crowd, you expect it to be.
We got a loud rendition of John Cena sucks during his entrance.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think everybody takes part in doing that now, just like, the Paul Heyman thing or, any other promo where fans yell out, they just want to be a part of it. But it seems like, John Cena's really getting the respect from the Brooklyn crowd, which, something 10 years ago he absolutely did not have.
Oh, hell yeah. Especially being a Boston guy.
Wait. Go back. What? He was, because obviously it's before my time on, Slamcast, but what? He didn't get, respect from,
Well, when he was coming up in the what we call the Super Cena era, where he was basically winning every pay-per-view, main eventing it, winning clean, winning the title, hustle, loyalty, respect, same old garbage. He was being booed. Yeah, they were tearing him a new asshole on a fairly regular basis. Cena sucks. You can't wrestle. Da 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 da. He got heard every manner of abuse, and then it was finally when he got injured, and we didn't have to see him on TV for a while, and then he came back. Fans, I guess, started to appreciate the character more.
Right. Well, of course, Cena being a Boston guy, he really. I don't expect him
Boston.
Boston. They're not really going to like him there over in Brooklyn. Anybody from the general New England area. They're not going to like.
Boston guy.
Anyway, I can't believe it's 1 a.m. here. Yeah. So, we get to the midway point of this match. John Cena looks like he's got it in, but there's a ref bump.
So, here comes the ref bump.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
so this is where shit starts to get really weird, right?
Shenanigans are about to happen.
Yeah, that was just chucked in for pointless bollocks' sake.
No, it has. I think it was all for a reason. I think. It gets.
I thought it was just to extend the match, but that's my bad.
Yeah, it gets even weirder when Jon Stewart gets in the ring because you're like, what's Jon Stewart doing?
What the fuck is going on?
What's going on?
He has a chair.
And it happens.
I actually said out loud at that point, "Why are you here?"
Well, no, Jon Stewart's. I know why he was there. He was brought there by the McMahons. Jon Stewart's a.
No, I know, but to me personally, why are you here?
Something is up. This isn't just a random thing. Something's gonna happen, and
Someone's getting their ass slapped.
And something big happened, and
you should have seen the smile on my face.
Yeah, no.
When he's teasing, he looks like he's gonna hit Rollins. Rollins turns and he does it. He turns, nails Cena. He blasts Cena in the gut.
That was cool.
Hit, boom, chair goes down, pedigree onto the chair. 1, 2, 3. I am like, oh, thank God. The White Knight has saved us from John Cena.
Do you know what I thought? I said out loud as well, which is, oh, thank God you ended this nightmare.
Here's the thing. I don't know where this ranks in the pantheon of heel turns, but I think this has to rank right up there with the Hogan NWO heel turn, because this goes to the deeper psychological connection that people get from wrestling, Jon Stewart has unofficially been the Edward R. Murrow of the last 15 years. For at least for our generation, he will always sort of be that sort of benchmark of political journalism, even though he was basically a stand-up comedian and an actor.
It's like what we call in this country, which is Jeremy Clarkson has it, which is when a university gives you an honorary doctorate, if that makes sense. And that's what Jon Stewart is in WWE.
Well, no, it's what he is basically. I mean, he has a sort of just connection to an entire generation of media consumers. I mean, because his breach obviously goes.
So my internet popped then. I thought you said meat-eating consumers.
No, his media consumers that is just far deeper.
He's almost cult-like. Like,
yeah,
one of the reasons I started watching wrestling was because Jon Stewart showed up.
Jon Stewart made it okay.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Jon Stewart showed up, I want to know what's going on. And that was one of the big reasons to start watching.
And now you're
Jon Stewart has great hair. Just saying.
It's true. So again, this turn has such like a psychological, connection. Resonation is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for.
It's going to be very interesting to see where it goes forth after this.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it has already played its logical conclusion. We saw Raw. We saw.
I don't know. I think there may be,
more Jon Stewarts now. I think Jon Stewart is using it to, using this time as, him leaving the Daily Show and his.
I got £5 that says he pops up again. Just saying.
I don't think it's going to be a while. I don't think it's going to be like a regular thing, like he's going to show up at Night of Champions.
I'm not saying regular, but I'm just saying I got £5.
Oh, he's obviously going to probably pop up again, but it's probably going to be like maybe like a WrestleMania, and he'll just be like, there, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Or like they subtly mention it, where like him and Cena bury the hatchet or something like that, and but just unbelievable. I mean, if you predicted Jon Stewart was going to turn heel at the end of the night, you're a liar.
You would have wanted a lot of money.
I'm calling you a liar to your face, man, because there's just no way. There's no way.
It wouldn't even sound like a heel because he got like a hero's fucking welcome when he did it.
Yeah, and they cut it, and it is technically a heel turn though, by me, when you do something like that.
Right.
Can I just say something in the voice of
comedy
Ted?
bits with Mick Foley to begin the show. Like it was just such an out of left field moment.
But he was bloody told to say that in his defense. It was scripted.
I think he had a hand in that because Mick Foley said that Jon Stewart asked him to do the bit with him.
Yeah, because he was wanted somebody to be out there that is comfortable with, and he knows Mick from comedy circles. So
it was actually a kind of it was a fun way to start off SummerSlam. Unlike last year when you had Hogan crowing about $9.99.
Oh God, yeah, fuck.
God.
Thanks for bringing that back up, Nick.
Well, actually, I just thought about it. They did some foreshadowing for his heel turn when they had him talking to Paul Heyman.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Looking back in hindsight, that was the first thing I thought of when I saw it.
By the way, Brandon, that's the greatest impression I've ever heard of a raptor from Jurassic Park in my life.
What did I just do?
Nice.
Sometimes when I have to talk for a while, my voice starts to sound like that. But I mean,
Sorry. And now your keyboard sounds like it's farting.
I'm not even touching my keyboard. So I don't know what you're talking about. That's not me.
Well, someone made a farting noise.
I'm on wireless headphones.
And I have the only bottom in the building, so it wasn't me.
If wireless headphones, I'm nowhere near a keyboard. My wireless keyboard is literally on the other couch.
Hang on, carry on. Excuse me while I charge up my lecky fag.
Yes.
Right, where were we? Jon Stewart.
Yeah, the Jon Stewart heel turn, I mean, no one predicted that coming, and it has.
Yeah, if I thought it was anyone that was going to screw Cena, I thought it was going to be Triple H.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what you obviously figured. The Authority would find some way to, can ensure Seth's victory, but Jon Stewart heel turn. Oh my! Again, it just goes to show me that when I think I cannot be surprised by anything WWE or there's nothing WWE.
Well, it just goes to
can
show
do.
that you think you can predict WWE or TV, and you can't
You
because
can't.
they pulled this blinder.
Because that was not even. We didn't even mention. We only tacitly mentioned Jon Stewart as being host of WrestleMania. Like we didn't think he would have that great of an impact on the show. And as Cena mentioned, he impacted WWE history. And
Can I be
that's
honest
something
right
that
now? Based upon that, I may have my fingers crossed that one day, even though it'll completely kill my internet, Sean Connery might show up on this live stream.
Okay, have fun with that.
Yes, Cena. I don't like him. He's a prick.
Lovely.
Seth Rollins is the WWE champion and the United States champion right now.
2 belts, bitches.
I'm pretty stoked about that. Like I didn't think it was
Second
gonna
year in a
happen.
row. Second year in a row. Or no, third year.
I like it because, hard-working bloke. Fair play.
Second year in a row that the person that's beat Cena's walked out with 2 belts.
Plus, also a big, thumbs up for me right now, which is if you beat Cena, I'll buy you a pint and maybe a steak dinner because, good job, sir. Good job.
Yeah, if anyone deserves to hold the United States title, it's Seth Rollins. I mean, guys had
Don't get me wrong. I don't hate Cena. He's done his time. He's worked his way up and shit like that. But sometimes you just don't want to see shit like that win. Sorry, Cena, I didn't call you shit. If you ever meet me in person, don't punch my face. But
punch through your face.
It's boring. Do you know what I mean? Like it's more of the same. If that makes sense.
It's predictable. It's the status quo.
And that was because that was the status quo for 10 years. We got used to that, but we're in a different world than we were in 2005. I guarantee you that.
Yep.
Are we in a world where my taps run with Diet Coke? Because that'd be awesome. Sorry.
In the magical fantasy world which you inhabit, sure. So then we had.
Fine, you can come live my magical fantasy world then, prick.
So then
Owen Cesaro.
I thought the Diva. Oh no, that's right. So yeah, Owen Cesaro was next, and I'm surprised they let these guys go as late in the card as they did.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I thought this
I'm
match.
not gonna lie, I thought they would be mid card.
Or opening.
I did too. I thought this match had curtain jerk to mid card written all over, but this match was pre-main basically. You count the Divas match, which I don't, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, I was surprised for as hard hitting as a match that Kevin Owens had the night before. Really didn't seem to slow him down any bit, or really take it any easier. I mean, if he did take it easier, he took it maybe 1% easier.
It was very professional, though. I have to say, like the match before, and he came and he delivered. Quite impressive.
Yeah, well, it's only the fact that he delivered, but he delivered without any serious injuries to himself that we know of.
Right.
Maybe a few nicks and bruises here and there from landing on the ladder, but nothing serious.
That hindered his performance. I mean, they put on a great freaking match.
Yeah, I mean, these two. If there was any candidates for anybody, quote unquote, stole the show at SummerSlam, it's these two.
Yep.
Because they put on a match that, I mean, maybe a lot of people had, expectations that were going to be good, but I don't think anybody thought it was going to be that good. I'm not saying it was the best match of the night, but I'm saying it was the most interesting.
Well, you know,
match.
the leather match was the best best match of the night for me, but this was a pretty fucking saucy-tastic fight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Two consummate professionals, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know it proved both of it proved that both of them, to whoever doubts that they deserve their current spot in the company, um, they're wrong, and they are absolutely deserving of where they are.
Workhorses, consummate
And
professionals,
should be higher.
workhorses.
And yes, like I said, people that I believe that the Intercontinental title should go to the person who is the best worker, best in ring performer on the
Best
roster.
professional.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, these are two guys that are absolutely worthy of that designation because they continually night in night out put on quality matches with whomever they're in there against.
Yep.
Oh, I know him.
They
I know
do
what
it because they love it. You can tell that when you watch them. They
I
do
know
it
what
because
match
they
we
love
forgot because it was totally lame.
Oh, how
Rusev,
can we?
Rusev Dolph Ziggler.
Oh God, I
Yeah,
can't believe I wanted to talk about this and I forgot. You know, it was great to see Lana looking unbelievably hot. Summer Rae looked smoking hot, but a double count out?
yeah.
Really?
This kind of seemed like it was kind of
Yeah.
fucked up. Like they kind of fucked up that finish. Like it was supposed to be Ziggler jumping into the ring and beating it and
This
Wiggler
was
winning.
my
Like,
other piss break, by the way.
yeah. I have one thing to say about this feud, and I was a big proponent of Lana, like big pro Lana guy, going
I
into.
love the outfit on Lana though. That fucking
Yeah.
denim. Oh
No.
God, Rusev.
No. I
No.
don't. I don't, man. I really think
Britney Spears, circa whatever that year was with the Justin Timberlake picture. Anyone?
she looks like a teen popper. Like
I just felt the need to say this when I saw that outfit, which was Roadhouse.
yeah, no. Here's the thing: is Lana when she was with Rusev, she was consistently the best part of the Rusev character.
Mm-hmm.
When she made the transition over to being with Dolph Ziggler, I think it's just taken everything unique about her away from her, and she's been consistently the worst part of this creative. That kick that she delivered was kind of awkward. It was cool to watch her kick Summer Rae in the face, like straight
Felt
up.
very rehearsed.
Yeah, or just felt really just looked really awkward. They've stripped everything away that made her unique. You know, the business suits made her unique. Granted, it was just again a business suit, but she was the only one coming out there wearing that and showing that much leg. So you know, it was her thing. And now that they took it away from her, she just looks like literally Dolph Ziggler's girlfriend. And
It's just, standard performer right now. Because
Yeah, the finish was it just
Fuck.
baffled me.
The finish was fucked.
Part of the finish was Rusev's flag with his dapper portrait on it and didn't come down, and that bummed me out.
I miss the old Russian flag, man. I'm really saying the old Russian flag.
hammer sickle all the way, baby.
It was all of last year.
It's a shame Burhan's not on because he's a massive raving socialist. So, he would talk about hammer and sickle
being good. Yeah. Anyway, enough about the pro-communism talk.
Anyway,
yeah, I don't know where this is going, man.
Stale, boring fight is the word you're looking for.
Here's the thing: the match was good between these two guys. Like I like the match. I just
I disagree. I thought it was. Oh, I don't know why I'm talking really high up like this.
Yeah, why your voice gets really high all of a sudden?
I don't know. I didn't enjoy this match. I thought it was just boring and bollocks. It was just.
Yeah.
It felt like the pacing was all wrong, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I felt like the Amel Neville Stardust.
That's another match we didn't talk about. Okay.
How do we forget that?
How do we forget that? But we'll briefly touch on that because, I mean, it was what it was.
Stephen Amell
did a good job.
Yeah,
here's the thing. I will compliment him, but he could have sold more. Like when Stardust had him in the corner, putting the boots to him, his facial expression
was he was just there to cash a paycheck.
Well, he was putting a lot into the role, in a sense, if you think. I mean, he dove off the top rope out to the fucking floor.
No, I give him absolutely credit because he
I'll give him credit for that, but I still
great
think the rest
job.
of the fight was him just being kind of like, I'm just here for my paycheck.
I don't think it was here for the paycheck. I think it's because he acts as a superhero who's like not used to like if you're acting in that kind of role, you're not used to having to look like you're getting beat up. So I think that was a big shift for him.
He's not used.
So he was out of his comfort zone then, basically.
Yes, he was absolutely out of his comfort role because of the fact you could see that he wasn't really selling the offense that Ziggler and that Barrett and Stardust were laying on him.
So that makes sense now because I was very disappointed with it, but
no, I wasn't disappointed. I wasn't disappointed in the match because this guy literally has almost zero wrestling training before this week.
Right.
And was basically thrown in there to put in a match. And those guys were absolute professionals. Like Cody Rhodes,
So what you're saying is they made this match filler.
It was filler because it was not really filler, but it was.
Yes, it was filler. Sorry, nostalgic credit
Filler now. Sorry.
It was a snack, I guess you could say, before the main course of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
A palate cleanser.
It was the Diet Coke of the evening, if you will.
It was the palate cleanser of the night.
Yeah,
it was.
Mel did a good job in the ring. I didn't like the fact that he didn't sell their offense when Stardust is putting the boots to him in the corner. He had almost no facial expression.
I can't take Stardust serious. I mean, I like Stardust, but I can't take him seriously because I just want to say to him, and I would say it to his face, even though he would punch me back in time to 1955. I just want to say, you so wish you were David Bowie, don't you?
I mean, a little bit. Does kind of get a little bit, but he's kind of making it his own thing now, or at least taking it in a direction where.
But I can't slag you off, Stardust. So before you punch me in the face, know this: I own your action figure. So
If that does happen, will you please say hi to George McFly for me?
Anyway,
can I knock him on the head and just say, loser? Oh my God, he's keeping.
Anyway, look, no McFly from Hill Valley will ever amount to anything. All right, so we can all just move on from that. All right.
Eat legs, flackers. That's my shotgun.
So we've gone over the two matches that we just completely forgot about.
I had one more thing about Amell and Stardust.
Okay.
They did a really good job, and I'm sure Cody had the voice of his father in his head, telling him.
They did, but
listen, son,
I love Stardust.
I'm trying to do a fucking gimmick here, Dave. Jesus fucking Christ.
Puff.
No, you fucking don't fucking shut up. I'm trying to talk, and you're fucking talking over me.
I'm scared. Hold me, Nick. He's being nasty at me.
No, you're just talking over me. Like it's happened to me like.
Sorry.
No, I don't mind. I'm just. Don't shut up. Just don't talk.
This is why we should do Google Hangouts.
Yes, I'm aware of this, but we're not doing that now. So, move on. Like I know. Cody probably had his father's voice in his head, like, son, you got to protect the business. You don't let that boy get out there and get strong on you. And that's what they did. They put Stephen Amell in his place, and they made the business look real to him.
I'm going to talk about it right now. I have to say it. That was a great lisp. Sorry.
Thank you. My Dusty impersonation is on fleek, yo. You can't.
It's
it's
probably the best in the podcast world.
It's on fleek, baby. It's on fleek. All right. I definitely have the best Dusty on the show. Oh, beyond a shadow of a doubt, do I have the best Dusty on this show? Yeah, they definitely protected the business, and Amell did a good job.
I gotta mute you because I'm laughing. Sorry.
Sorry, don't worry about it. So yeah. Now we talked about the two matches that we didn't want to talk about. We missed over. Now on to the Divas match, which was a palate cleanser before the main event. This wasn't much of a clusterfuck as I thought it was going to be. With 6 Divas in the ring.
9.
Sorry, yeah, 9 Divas in the ring.
I thought this was going to be porn for 9-year-olds.
I thought it was going to be too. I thought there was going to be a lot of Paige and Rest holds, lauding the cleavage over people. I don't know where Burhan and Mr. Krupp seem to think that Paige has had some sort of enhancement done. Trust me, those things are the same size. I would notice.
Yeah,
I can't say anything bad about her anymore because her dad lives down the
Because your
road.
dad lives on the same island as you.
Yes.
No, I looked it up on Google Plus. Her dad literally lives 57 minutes away from me.
Exactly. Within an hour. Not only father, you don't have to worry about the father. You have to worry about the rest of the entire psychotic Knight family.
Yes.
Good luck,
I'm just
buddy.
gonna run. I've got my backup plan.
That's why I say nothing about compliments and respectful compliments.
Well, if you've noticed, Mr. Liggan, I've stopped doing Paige's creepy moment of the week for a long bloody time because now I know that he lives just down the road from me. I like my face.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Knight family is a fucking lunatics, and they will definitely show up at your door if they hear you talking badly about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure, Mr. Ricky Knight would show up like a Don in the Mafia. Paige's two brothers would be standing them like a couple of hired goons.
Exactly. Anyway.
So, who are you exactly? I'm Long Boy Post 1975, and then he punched me in the face and raped my dead corpse.
So the 9 divas in this match, there was a surprisingly, not that many ugly spots.
It worked, though, didn't it?
Cringeworthy. Yes. That being said, I mean, it just really felt lackluster after, and it's not even the fault.
There were a few lulls. I'll give it that. But...
No, and there were a few lulls, and I can't even blame that on the people in the ring. I just think the bar was set so high for women's wrestling the night before with Bayley and Sasha that just nothing's gonna compare to that, man.
Well, it comes back to what I said, which is you wouldn't want to be the person who followed that up, would you?
Exactly.
I mean, the whole weekend had to essentially follow that up, and not a lot of it really surpassed it. So we did get a Team PCB victory. Becky Lynch did get the pin over Tamina. I do have this theory that Tamina Snuka has actually been fired for the last 5 years. That's actually just the Great Khali in a leather jacket.
Can we all just say this? It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't terrible. It could have been much worse. I definitely had lower expectations, but I can't really remember anything.
I was fearing Nikki wins, LOL.
I was fearing that too, I was feeling like, the Bellas finally get the Bellas get their win. They prove they're done and it's over. This is all over. Now go back to not paying attention to women's wrestling again.
And can I make a really bad joke? When they get their win, does that mean it's bell end? Sorry, would have been.
That was a really bad joke. It was really bad.
I like that.
It's fucking atrocious. Yeah, so, I mean, now what happens? Well, we'll talk about that later on. We've been going on for fucking ever. I'm looking at it.
Do you have this phrase in North America? It's what we like to call like an nil-nil draw in football. We like to call disappointing matches that have great moments in them. We like to call them sand matches. If that makes sense, because sand is neutral. If that makes sense.
Yep.
That was sand. It was very sand. I had nothing. I had literally no positive feelings after that match. That leads us to the main course of the night, and boy, did that ever deliver.
Our Lord and Savior, Mr. Brock
Our Lord and Savior returned to take on the Dead Man Incarnate, the Undertaker.
Yep.
I think I may still have a Woody over this.
Who didn't bump around like he was made out of paper mache, who actually did look like he was, physically fit and not someone who probably should pack it in and retire.
He looked on fire, I thought.
I mean, look, these two, I was genuinely not sure where this match was going to go. Very hard hitting, I mean, it was a typical Lesnar match. And we even, it seems like with every Undertaker match we get nowadays, there's something that happens in the match that just blows up and becomes a thing that just goes beyond the wrestling world.
And also great technical wrestling in it.
Yeah, great technical wrestling. I mean, look, if it's Brock Lesnar, we're always going to see great technical wrestling. And great suplexes. Oh, the suplexes.
Yes.
Oh, the suplexes. Oh, my God. I think that might be where I had my Woody from.
Yeah, how funny was it when, Lesnar gets up from the pin on Taker
Mhm.
and she's just sitting up and just laughing, and then Taker gets up and just starts laughing right as that's the most emotion I've ever seen Undertaker display in a wrestling match
Ever.
since in the last 5 years since he wrestled
Do you know what
someone.
that bit reminded me of, though? It sounds really stupid, but I'm going to have to say it. That bit reminded me of Rocky Balboa versus Drago.
Yes, yeah, it was just like, come on, let's fucking do this, let's go.
Is that all you? Is that all you got? Is that all you
It's,
got?
oh man, but it's moments like that just goes to show that like that wasn't just Brock wasn't laughing because like, oh man, what do I have to do to beat this guy? Brock realized that he had that crowd eating out of the palm of their hands. These are two guys that are just literally could do anything, and he's having a good time just
Yep.
sitting there doing it. Blood's pouring down his face. He's just like, am I getting paid to do this? This is fucking
I
awesome.
have the greatest job in the world.
Um, Now we get to that. That's where the good times kind of end in that match for me, because I understand what they're trying to do in the storyline. I totally get it, totally completely get it. I don't see how the timekeeper can tell that the Undertaker's tapping out from the position that he sits in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that was
just,
bullshit.
I just don't see it. Like if the Undertaker had his wife at ringside and she throws in the towel for something, or like some other confused finish that where we're not totally sure what's going on. But the way they did that just made it seem like someone screwed up.
Cheap.
Well, then
Someone,
again, the timekeeper is the
yes,
Shockmaster's son.
yeah, yes. I'm trying to create that, and it's the second time a member of the Ottman family has brutally screwed up.
Well, do you know what's funny? It's like football and rugby. Now we have goal line technology.
Uh-huh.
Why don't we have that in wrestling? Because
Yeah, right.
it's, we saw it, you saw
Is
it,
it is a
everyone in the
limp
ring
wristed?
saw it.
Yeah, is a limp wristed hand motion tapping out? Yes,
No,
technically, but
I disagree. I mean, I know
he's clear. What's the accepted tap out procedure in mixed martial arts, or when you're in some sort of submission position? Like,
three really hardy slap downs.
yeah, it's a tap of the leg or of any place on your opponent if you can't reach the mat or something like that. And if that's the closest place, you just tap your opponent on the back like, "Hey, let me go. I'm done. I don't want any part of this."
I don't want my throat pipe
Again.
crushed.
Now, I get that they try and do these things to add a little bit of variety to endings. You can't always have just people end with a match with a pinfall. That gets kind of boring. But just I don't know. You could have come up with something better than that. Have some sort of controversy. Yes, you already did the ref bump finish. You couldn't do that again.
Have him pin him from behind when the ref's not looking or something like that. Something exciting, but that was just kind of. Oh, this is really weak.
It was confusing. No, here's what it was. It was confusing because I was just like, is that it? That's it? That can't be it. There's still 15 minutes left.
Yeah. Give me about like $25. Oh wait, I'm on WWE now.
Yeah, I want my $9.99 back.
I mean, then again, you just give me a free month. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It felt like a very, 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 very forced end.
Yes.
It's almost like they didn't know what to do with the end of this fight. So
They don't know how to. They don't know. Like this clearly isn't the final resolution of the feud. So how do we get this feud to?
This is how I took it. How do we end this fight so we can get the next one on because we're live right now? If that makes sense.
Yes. Well, or because.
Well, what do we do next?
What clearly what they're doing next is obviously setting up for a third match at SummerSlam. Or I mean,
Survivor Series.
But it should have been like he should have like rolled over or flip him or something, and then elbow him in the face, and then there was a tap out or something, and they can carry on the fight or the feud. Mm-hmm. I have no problem with that because I like the feud between these people, but it was just it felt like a fucking Dollarama store ending to a good wrestling match, because it wasn't brilliant, but it was good up to this point. And then you got the end. It was just like, oh, this is shit.
I'm just like,
So
all right, I get it, but really, that's what we're gonna do with. Okay, I mean, I would have accepted. I kind of felt I would have accepted the fact that this match had a decisive winner. Like if you know, Brock beat the Undertaker, Brock's got to obviously can't let the Undertaker get that win back. He has to be the. It sets up the, like
I
no,
wanted, I wanted Undertaker to win. I have
it
to
sets
say.
up a rumble match if Undertaker just won clean and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That way,
Well, no,
Yeah.
because he's got limited. Don't get me wrong, he's in great shape for his age, and I'm 10 years away from being that. I hope I'm in as good shape as him when he's 50. But oh, come on, give it to Undertaker, because how much longer is he going to be around? He's such a long-serving servant of the WWE and a great stalwart of this sport.
yeah, I mean, there's nobody more respected than Undertaker. That's
And when I
I mean, that's a
always play
fact.
WWF arcade game, I always play as Undertaker.
I hate that game so much. It's the worst
It's
wrestling.
awesome, because how many games do you get to do a Dragon Punch and throw fucking tombstones at people?
It's Mortal Kombat
Weird.
with the WWE license, but that's for another podcast. I just I get it, but I felt that I wanted more, especially after the night before at NXT, and that's just not how I wanted the night to end.
It
Brings
felt like
us
a
to
1.5 fight, if that makes sense.
exactly
A 1.5 fight in the sense which is, hang on a minute,
like
where's the rest
that's
of this?
that's it. Like that, it can't possibly end like that. That can't be the ending. I need a resolution to the ending. I do like it. Like Brock Lesnar didn't tap. Brock Lesnar went out.
Yep,
the
the match is still going on. Undertaker, shot to the balls. The old Hell's Gate, and then the
That was
way
cool. Not
Lesnar
gonna lie,
went
it was
out,
cool.
the middle finger, just flipping the dead man off, like.
Yeah,
And I
that's
guarantee you, not one person gave Brock Lesnar shit, because they would know if they did, it would be the last thing they would ever do.
because what are they going to do to Brock Lesnar? Like, oh, find me? Okay, I will.
I would, because I'm pretty sure that I'm still going to get killed by Paige's family before that.
Yeah.
um, yeah.
No,
So
it was like I said, Brandon. It was a good fight. It really was a good fight, but it just ended in that kind of. It ended like an episode of Star Wars, if that makes sense. Which is, you waited for it to go diddly 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 diddly.
yeah,
Where's the
it's just
rest?
it's just credits up and now what? But that did have that feeling until the next night on Raw when Lesnar comes out and challenges the Undertaker for a rematch right then and there in Brooklyn.
And also, Lesnar, by the way, again, what we talked about previously, is fair play for being such a consummate professional and a good athlete that you can do this again.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get what we get in return. We get Bo Dallas, and
Oh my God.
Oh,
Rest in
God.
peace,
God
Bo.
bless Bo Dallas. I can't fucking talk. God bless Bo Dallas.
Bo. God bless Bo Dallas, you
I mean,
stupid
really.
motherfucker.
No, I mean that guy to go out there. That's just bravery in spades, spades and spades and spades.
Fair
Oh
play,
God, it was
I
so
would say.
funny.
For
It's
that,
like,
fair play.
and because we're gonna get that Madison Square Garden special,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it's
Oh,
gonna
I mean
be Brock versus
that's
Bo.
that's how awesome Brock Lesnar is. Brock Lesnar makes the WWE tape, put a house show in
Brock
Madison
Lesnar
Square.
is the WWE.
Exactly. A regular house show appearance from Brock Lesnar is WWE Network.
Yeah.
By the way, Leslie, you still alive?
Nah, she might have just signed off.
No,
I
I'm
don't.
here.
Okay.
Okay, just checking. I was scared.
It is hard to get a word in edgewise with us. We have a repertoire.
It means me. I'm sorry.
Yes, rapport, mostly with Dave. It's not that you talk. It's just when you I'm like in the middle of something, and then you start in on something else.
Sorry. In my defense, though, can I say this? Thank you for making me get addicted to this sport and waste a massive amount of my fucking wallet on it.
And I only yell at you because I care about you. Because if you did that stuff and you annoyed me, I'd literally just hang
Well,
up.
you didn't even want me on it, did you? Let's be honest.
I didn't, but you have earned that. You have earned it, where I now ask you to come on.
Can I still be here then? Does that mean you've accepted
Because if I didn't
me?
want you here, I would have A, hung up on the fucking call, or B, found a way to hang up on you.
I can't stay mad at you because you look like
Exactly.
McCready for the thing.
So that's why, I yell at you because you annoy me and you do those things, but I want you to stop. If I didn't like you, I would fucking remove you from the call.
Sorry, it won't happen. I felt like a chastised 4-year-old.
I know, and I hate having to do that. I feel like an asshole doing that. Like I
can't help myself. Brother.
I know
I can't help myself.
I know that, but that's it's how I try to cut down on 2.5 hour.
My beard's not as itchy as Burt Hands.
So I try and cut down on 2.5 hour podcasts. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a big contributing factor to the 2.5
Well, thank you for letting me into your fold, and I stand by this, which is thank you very much for.
We're not over. Stop talking. We're not over yet.
No, shut up, bitch.
I'm trying to not have a 3-hour fucking show, bro.
We're almost
I just
there.
want to say thank you very much for getting me addicted to this shit.
I'm aware of that.
It cost me a lot of bloody money.
You've said that already.
I have 5 Roddy Piper figures right now. That's your fault. That's your fault.
3-hour podcast, Dave. 3-hour podcast. Do you really want people to not listen to this? Thanks. Trying to get this under the 3-hour mark, where we just briefly talk about.
Yeah,
I'm not going to talk about everything that happened on Raw because there was
not much happened on Raw.
Well, there was
not
some
much
highlights.
happened on. There was some happened on Raw, but because of the weekend that we got, we felt that Raw got the shaft creatively. Like they had 2 main ideas planned for it, 2 maybe 3 big ideas planned for it, and the rest was just basically rehashes of SummerSlam. We did get one interesting bit of note. There's a new Wyatt family member, and his name, what was it, Bram Strong something or other?
Braun something.
Braun Punch Large Meat, something like that. Like just like the manliest
Braun Strowman,
name.
I think.
Braun Strowman, that's what it was. Just like the most manliest name possible.
Yes.
I like the expanded Wyatt family member. I thought it was Eric Rowan. Like, oh, Eric Rowan's back, and he just grew his hair out. Meanwhile,
really long.
Yeah, not realizing that you really can't grow your hair out that long in 2 months. I'm an idiot.
I can.
You're a fucking freak of nature.
Well.
Yeah, I like this ever-expanding Wyatt family. Braun Strowman is about a head taller than Eric Rowan or Luke Harper.
Yes.
That's.
Well, then he's a former Rosebud.
Yeah, that's also the funny thing too. I mean,
and he grows.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean that just goes to show you that wrestling fans will find something our memory is fucking photographic. Like
you
recognize
ever noticed between wrestling matches? Have you ever noticed that he grows at least an inch between matches?
Well, I mean they always traditionally bill people about an inch or 2 higher than they actually.
I swear to God. When I first got, into wrestling, thanks to you guys, that every time I watch like a pay-per-view or something like that, the bloke's grown an inch.
Yeah, man, you always try to make him bigger, look stronger. So yeah, Braun Strowman is going to be the latest mountain for Roman Reigns to tackle. I'm all in favor. I hope the Wyatt family grows in membership and. They become like the NWO and just this huge bloated group. Maybe not that
that big, yeah. But I like this guy's submission hold. He just picks him up and he chokes him out.
Worst bear hug ever.
I have something to say to that family. Another family that I have to hide from because I don't want to get my face punched in. But I have to say this, dude. Seriously, it's called prophylactives. Buy them.
Oh man, so you're just digging the grave deeper. Jesus Christ. You're gonna end up in a fucking box somewhere.
The guy fucking breeds like guinea pigs.
You're gonna end up in a box somewhere in the moors or whatever you have. You're gonna end up on a beach somewhere in fucking Brighton.
Well, I'll tell you what, right? If it happens, you can be on my epitaph on my tombstone, and it just says Brandon Liggan says, "I fucking told you."
I want no part of it.
God. Please.
I want no part of it.
Stupid.
He's a scary. The Night Fans, they are
Do you know
scary.
what? I'm gonna because the company I work with gives us the ability to write free will, and I'm taking
You're
that,
gonna
Nick.
need it.
And I want on my epitaph, and I want on my will, which is dig up, stupid.
Yeah,
Genius.
exactly. Genuinely dig up. Anyway,
Yeah, I like. They could. There's
Not the
talk they could
worst, right?
possibly bring in Sister Abigail.
yeah, that could be. That could be. I like the Y family. I hope it grows to be a formidable faction.
I don't, 'cause they're gonna kill me. Sorry.
Anyway. Yeah, it's gonna be.
That was the one bit of creative.
But
is that the big one though? We're going to talk about the big one. Big one.
oh, we gotta talk about the big
That's
one.
the new thing.
Well, I felt that there was something else besides the big one. Big one. Oh, the divas. The divas.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
we got so distracted
Wins
by
and
that.
losses don't matter.
Yeah, wins and losses don't matter, so let's have an exact same rehash of the match before. All right. Look, there was a controversy over the week that Paige, being the vocal standout that she is, took to social media and proceeded to criticize the fans that were in attendance in Brooklyn for not paying attention and just being, quote unquote, disrespectful. While chanting CM Punk at the Divas is a little disrespectful, those girls should have known that going into that crowd was probably going to be a hostile experience. While generally speaking, they're generally accepting of women's wrestling, but to just be thrown a rehash of a match that probably some of them were in the building for the night before, and not even a full rehash, just for like a half-assed rehashing of the match, and even to do it through Miz TV too, which was an even lamer way to do it.
Yeah.
Although we did get awkward Becky Lynch, which awkward Becky Lynch
Very
is
unprofessional. Very unprofessional.
It's very unprofessional for her to criticize the fans like that. But they should really know that Brooklyn, Philadelphia, Boston,
Washington,
Chicago, DC, maybe even that whole East Coast corner, they're going to be.
I think Brooklyn is one place you don't disrespect wrestling in.
Yeah, or you just don't disrespect the intelligence of the fans. I'm sorry.
Oh,
just,
yeah.
It's the don't be mad at the fans. Be mad at Be mad at creative for putting you in a position to be subjected to that. Because look, creative didn't do them any favors by throwing them out there by throwing PCB out there with the Bellas. I mean, if they were
on Miz TV, no less.
At noticing that crowd was chanting, "We want Sasha, we want Sasha," they should have sent Team Bad out there to interrupt the match. Like, send a note to the referee, like, we're going to make this a triple threat match.
They lit their own bloody fuse, let's be honest.
They really did. They really did. Actually, they soaked them in gasoline by giving them the match, and then the crowd essentially lit the fuse.
In a sense, lit the match, yeah.
Brandon, say petrol.
Petrol. They lit their own petrol on that one.
There you go.
They did it to themselves, really. I mean, they have no one to. They shouldn't be blaming the fans, Paige and all those Bellas, all those divas. They should be blaming creative, and that's where the fault lies. The fault doesn't lie.
What I don't get right though, because they have these amazing events, and they clearly know how to manipulate their audience and stuff like that, and then they do shit like this. Like, really?
Yeah, it really does. Like, I mean, the fact that the fact that Sasha Banks was consistently the most cheered diva throughout that six diva tag team match, and they didn't even make an attempt to acknowledge her, even have her come out or anything else like that. It's
embarrassing, technically.
It's disrespectful to the company disrespecting the fans, because the fans are saying that because they want to see her. They want to.
But it's
I'm
also
sure
the company disrespecting the people who worked so hard for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Like literally, this bird, has worked for you and done, slogged her guts out and worked up to this, prevalent level, and then all of a sudden this event comes along and you just go like, oh,
yeah, this is
we got no space for you.
One of the biggest Raws of my life, and now they're chanting for some guy who doesn't even work for the company anymore,
and he doesn't give a flying fuck anymore.
Who literally burned every bridge that he possibly could on his way out. Awesome.
And ironically, will be openly welcome back if he ever wants to come back.
No, here's the thing. I don't think that will be, because he's taken shots at the business itself, and I don't think there's any going back on that, really. So once you take the shots that he's taken at the business,
sorry, swallowed a fly. Literally just swallowed a fly.
It happens.
That was nasty. I don't know. FiQuid says he may be back.
No, I just think, man, the bridges that he's burned, there's no way he's coming back.
But he's not done a Hulk Hogan.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. See, here's the thing. They were still. That chant had gone away for about a couple months, a year maybe at most. It reared its ugly head when fans in a particular city were bored. They should just know, anytime they go to those cities, they have to bring the A game as far as booking wise. Like there better be no soft spots in the card, or else the crowd's gonna turn on them, and the crowd's gonna go just spend 10 minutes chanting "We are awesome." JBL.
Yeah. And obviously a cliche, but the
crowd jumped.
Ultimately the people who determine your career in WWE. Because if you don't ride with the crowd, then you're fucked, basically.
Yes. No, absolutely, totally right.
Taker still had one of the great shutdowns to it was to the what chant. So say what if you sleep with your sister? Yeah. They're like, what? Oh, wait. Yeah, I thought so.
Shit.
Well, that episode of Simpsons, just, you want to have sex with your cousins? Why? Because they're so attractive. Sorry.
Or it's like Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, I had sex with my cousin. Oh, I figure someone else there. I'm tangenting here.
Technically, it's I can't believe I'm going to say this. In this country, at least.
Tangenting.
Tangent. As long as it's your second cousin, technically.
Tangenting. This is not.
You have under 10 minutes.
I know. I'm trying. Damn it. I'm trying.
Shut up now. I'm sorry.
This is a special episode. That's why it's going 3 hours.
Sorry, Leslie.
He said to justify it. Hey, look, you don't have to listen to it because you're a part of it now.
Thank God. I probably would have cried.
Oh, man. No one's going to listen to this show. So, again, a lackluster Raw was... It just felt like they were building... We saw the Seth Rollins statue. You knew, if you had any knowledge of wrestling, you knew something was coming.
Well, he paid full price, so he really pissed off. Just saying.
No, I don't think I would be really pissed off, because at the end, the way they did the reveal and who it was underneath the statue curtain, that was a pretty fucking way to do it.
It felt lukewarm. I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
I thought it was great. I liked it.
It was great. You could clearly tell that those people didn't. While they knew it was something, they didn't know it was going to be Sting. They didn't know, it's Sting showing up in New York, and it's like a whole confluence of events that made it.
Where's Sting from, by the way?
Sting is from, originally, I think he was born in Nebraska, but then he was always billed as being from Venice, California, with the, bleach blonde hair and surfer and muscles.
Total, yeah.
Yeah.
Just curious about, the reception people get when they do these events.
he wrestled his entire career in WCW in the South, so
Atlanta, Turner
yeah,
territory.
for him to be up in the Northern Territory, WWE territory, a region of the country WCW never forayed into, or was never successful in foraying into, is it made it a special moment. And we're gonna see Sting fighting for the WCW. Hold on, see,
Wow.
I said Sting, and I automatically had Sting in response to WCW.
That shows how that's how synonymous he is with
Exactly.
WCW.
Exactly. I can't even say the words WWE. Sting wrestling for the WWE title against Seth Rollins in 2015.
Yep.
Man, what? So that was the conclusion of the weekend. We went from the highs
That's
of
about that's a fight to call, by the way, people. You want to call it?
the highs of the high of NXT to confusing sometimes great moments of SummerSlam to a Raw that was like what, and then Sting.
Well, there was also another return that happened that.
Oh, duh. Oh shit! How could I
God
forget about?
damn it! Like I swear.
It's a 3-hour podcast, man. I've lost my mind. I
So let me set the scene. It's the New Day
that,
versus the Lucha Dragons for the titles. You got primetime players on commentary. New
Will
Day
you light
wins.
candles? By the way, by the way, Nick, when you said let's set the scene, will you light candles?
no.
No, you don't need.
Anytime anytime he talks, Nick, just don't even acknowledge him.
Sorry.
So you will need to set a table though. So New Day wins. Xavier's playing the trombone, which is great, and they're
Oh
in the
yeah,
ring.
that's
We got
right.
the Big E
Amazing.
dance, and then the Dudleys.
It's not only the fact that there was pyro and about 3 seconds of people not knowing what the hell was going on, and then when the Dudley Boys name flashed across the Titantron, finally realized what the fuck was going on. Like,
Well,
because you can't hear the music through all the pyro. Yeah, I've been to WWE shows. It's impossible. You cannot
right.
hear anything over
Yeah.
pyro.
The music hits, and when they realized the announcers are going nuts, and I guess they had not, no one knew except the few people, the guys that set it up, and the guys that are doing the pyro and shit like that. But no one knew that they were there. They kept them really well hidden until they were in the gorilla position. So I
They
would
kept
have
it really,
loved to
they
have
kept
been a
it really
fly
well.
on the wall
Yeah.
backstage.
Please, Nick, explain to us what the gorilla position is.
Okay, so
Gorilla
it's
position.
the spot where right before they walk out onto the stage. So this is where Vince McMahon's got the headset and he's yelling in the announcer's ear and he's calling each and every goddamn shot. It's named after Gorilla Monsoon.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So
So that's why they call it gorilla position.
right.
So
I just
like
texted my mate, by the way, on the computer through Skype, and from now on, the next time I catch my boys in my zipper, I'm just gonna say, "Oh fuck, the Dudleys."
Unnecessary tangent, Dave.
yes, that's why Dan.
Unnecessary tangent.
Sorry.
This
anyway,
was
I apologize.
this was 3 hours.
like I was saying, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall backstage when the Dudleys were walking to go to gorilla position, and
Yeah,
there were probably
full
just people
camo.
like, "Are you? Those are the fucking Dudleys. What the fuck?"
This is happening. This is really happening. Yeah, I mean, if I was in that locker room, I would have gone full, Mark status and
Like,
lost my mind, like
yeah.
everybody did in that arena. Because as soon as I mean, you could clearly tell when that happened. Almost like the energy was sucked out of that building. Like they needed to have Jon Stewart come out and get AA'd for them to get.
You waited for a dust bunny to blow across the
Yeah.
floor.
Almost, man. I mean, it's just there was just almost no energy. The pop was so insane. I mean, then they basically did all the hits, with the tables, the what's up.
Yeah, the headbutt. Xavier really got the short end of the stick, and he got.
Yeah.
New Day. They all had a great reaction. Like, oh, what is this really fucking happening? I guarantee
Yep.
they didn't know.
No, I mean, well, they knew. I'm sure all the boys know, and the boys in the back knew, but Yeah, that was a pretty special moment, and it's it's going to be interesting now that the most decorated tag team in history is back in the WWE.
I mean, they mentioned 24-time tag team
Welcome
champions.
back.
Remember, a
I
couple of those were in
would say.
TNA, so.
Yeah, they were counting TNA, which is surprising.
Can I
But
just
they
say
won't-
this really quickly? My mate just sent me a
Might-
message back because
might
he's
as
at
fucking
work.
well.
He's an ambulance driver, and so he's like on 24-hour shift. He just went, "What the
Right.
fuck is a Dudley?" And I went,
Great, cool story, bro.
Anyway, yeah, I just love we got the 3D through the table, and
Yeah,
then on
man,
SmackDown they beat the Ascension, which is that really epic?
Yeah, I think everybody beats the Ascension. I have a win against the Ascension in tag team competition.
These nuts beat the Ascension.
Basically, like
"Is it
that's-
just me though? Are they like relegated to like being cannon fodder for
And they have.
victims?"
They have. It's
like Barry Horowitz and the Brooklyn Brawler formed a tag team at this point.
But it's such not because like we had this discussion before. The Ascension was this force on NXT, and then it's like as soon as they got to the main roster,
But they're not terrible.
Drop back down to
Maybe it's just me. They're not terrible, so I think that's kind of a little bit unfair.
they're not. Sorry, what were you trying to say, Les?
It looks like they're gonna. You haven't seen it yet, but it looks like they're gonna drop them back down to NXT and recall.
Yeah, I mean that just makes sense
Which is
because
the only option they have right now.
and that was the only time in their career. Because look, you got to look at this team. Like this team was like, oh man, when they bring these guys up, these guys are going to be a dominant force. They're going to take over the tag team division. The Usos better watch out. They're going to be sick and tired of this face painting bullshit. And now they paint their face and they lose all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
face painting.
it's. I mean, the whole thing was really botched from the start. Like,
Yeah.
The whole demolition sort of.
So what you're basically saying is paint your face, lose like a bitch.
Just they had a great idea and they tampered with it and now it sucks. And now it will probably never ever work again. And
I feel like I need like a clip of Xavier Woods playing taps, like for that.
Yeah.
Oh man, Xavier was playing taps. They should I think a trombone is his new permanent gimmick. But like that just goes to show you that the New Day taps da da da.
Okay.
Da, that's taps. Yeah, I just think there's nothing the New Day could do that cannot pop.
Get over.
All right, we're pretty much at the 3-hour mark now with the podcast, or they're close enough.
It's a little over.
It's a little over. Well, it's the call itself has gone 3 hours. We didn't immediately start recording as soon as 30 seconds. Okay. But this is a 3-hour epic long podcast. We broke our podcast record for podcasting so long because SummerSlam was so fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna end up being 3 hours. I think when I started recording, it was way after that, but the call's going 3 hours. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No, it was 11:01 p.m.
Now we're just splitting hairs, folks.
Whatever.
It's hang on.
Plug.
Shit! It's 7:02 in the morning. Fuck.
Yeah, it's practically daylight over by you. Burhan
It is daylight.
He had to move his tent. Anyway, I kid our colleague. It was good having him on the show.
For a little bit.
Nerdgenius.com, michaelburhan.com. Check him out. That's where all his projects. Please give him
Also, if you need a Brillo pad to clean your plates, he's got one on his face.
Always. Dave Wade, plug away.
Longboys Post 1975. If you want to see the reason that this podcast had issues at the start, you can see me play Highlander on the Commodore 64, and I took He's Who Name I Shall Not Name Out Loud off his head 3 times. And I'm pretty sure he still has sand in his vagina.
God, Dave!
We just actually turned 80 this week, by the way, too. Or 85.
Oh, I love you, sure. Oh! Caught myself.
Just had a birthday,
by the way, I love you, C-Bloke. I love you, because you're one of my favorite actors of all time, and you are the greatest James Bond in the world ever. Enough said.
Leslie, you got anything you want to put over before we sign off?
Yeah, I don't do anything. I mean, if someone is really, really
Twitter?
just feels the need, probably Twitter, which exists solely for my own entertainment.
Okay.
Well, you don't have a YouTube channel.
No, she doesn't. I know she doesn't have a YouTube channel. It's weird. Yeah, I know. That
I
seems
was
like foreign.
just going to add you in so you can tell me to stop talking over people. But
Such a foreign concept for you. No, someone doesn't have a YouTube channel. Nick, go on, and then I can take it home.
All right, you can find me over on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Twitter at Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Instagram, Xbox Live, Wii U at Pegasus 187. I'm in the Wrestling / MMA Revolution Facebook group, posting whatever random wrestling shit that I find funny or whatever. And I'm on Facebook.
Even some
at Nick
stuff that
Rose-
you don't find funny that you just post, and sometimes people
just random shit, pretty much.
basically.
and that's a good thing.
Yeah, just whatever can be relevant.
So that's been our SummerSlam wrap-up issue.
Wait. Random
What?
Sheik?
I'm not doing one. I mean, I was trying to read a funny one, but I really he's
Oh, you're
been
such
off.
a puff.
No. Here's the thing: if it's not making me laugh, it's not gonna make you laugh, and it's really like I don't know what it is. Here's the thing: like I'm almost afraid that there's something wrong with Shaky Baby or the Megan Brothers
He's being
because
very quiet.
exactly. The Twitter timeline for the Iron Sheik has been severely less populated. You know, it's also been it's been a contributing factor, the emergence of Virgil.
Oh God.
Since Virgil's emergence onto Twitter, the Iron Sheik's social media presence has waned.
Fuck you, Virgil. We
Um,
want him back.
yeah, I mean maybe because Virgil was a target, but there really hasn't been a funny Iron Sheik tweet of the week, in a real
Make
long.
one up.
I can't. I really can't.
That defeats the whole purpose.
That defeats the whole purpose of the Iron Sheik.
No, it
tweet.
doesn't. Because
Then it's
I
just
find
me
it
doing
funny, and I like laughing at my own voice.
You just want to laugh, and I'm not gonna do the joke.
Okay.
So that's why there hasn't been an Iron Sheik tweet of the week the last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, there hasn't really been anything that jumping out funny. So I hope there's nothing wrong with the Megan Brothers or Shaky Baby. And I wish the good time comedy to return sooner rather than later. Cool.
Go forth, Shaky Baby. Go forth.
Cool. Yes. Yeah, buddy. So so this has been our SummerSlam review show. If you made it through all of it, God bless you. God bless you. I love you. Always have. Go out there and support independent wrestling because that's where this fucking starts, man. It's the backyards and bingo halls and VFW halls is where you will guaranteed see. I shouldn't say guaranteed. Is where you can see maybe, possibly, if they get really lucky, the stars.
I thought you said conceive.
Can see. No, I mean you could conceive them too if you meet a nice fellow or lady that were willing to let you do that, but
a bird.
That's neither here nor there. Go support independent wrestling. It's the grassroots of the movement. It's where you can see stars of the past interacting with stars of tomorrow potentially, all in the same place. It's a guaranteed fun night of entertainment for the whole family. Don't be afraid to take the kids. It's more entertaining than a movie. It's longer than a movie. And you never know. You might be setting your kid on the path to a lifetime hobby.
Yes, because if there's anyone parents want their children to turn out like, it's us.
It's professional wrestlers. Exactly.
Can I add a stipulation?
I mean, what stopped you before? You haven't stopped
fuck off,
interjecting.
Puff. Saturday night, right, people. Saturday night, on Channel 8 on Freeview. If you want to see what's going on in British wrestling, independent British wrestling, Channel 8, tune in. Just saying.
Cool. So yeah, British wrestling is alive and well. You just got to go to the right place to find it. No, actually, yeah, believe me, it went through a lull period for a while. It's back in a big way. So big things happening over there in the UK. Go check out Cole Cabana's Edinburgh Fringe Festival show if you still could go see it.
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Bro.
Just
I don't have the proper Scottish brogue to do that at 2 o'clock in the morning. So fuck yeah, dude. So that's it. That's the episode. I'm just basically spending time until I can I'm vamping until my normal end. So for the departed Michael Burhan, who's not with us on the show anymore,
He's not dead.
Yeah, I realized that when I said the departed.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's okay.
Yeah, the erstwhile Michael Burhan, who has had to not join us. For the Rosa Parks of the wrestling podcast world, Leslie Joy. For Nick Horaceck, for Dave Wade, I'm Brandon Liggan saying good night. Good night. Go forth and spread beauty and light. Peace, love, and humptiness. Let's play my damn theme song. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I want to play some Madden.